Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the HeroesCCL Finals Day, presented by Roll20, paid for by absolutely no one when it comes to my casting, except for you lovely people at home watching on YouTube or Twitch. Feels good. Hope everyone's ready to have a good time today. I am very excited because today we will find out our grand finalists and our finals winner. We will find our first CCL champion. I am excited. I am your caster for today, Tetcher. I know you have a lot of choices when it comes to casting or co-streams. I appreciate you choosing mine. And thank you very much, Crescent Method, for the subscription.
Just wanted to drop the sub as a thanks for the casts.
You are very welcome, buddy. So, let's find out what casts we're going to be doing today. So, as you can see, we are going to be starting off today with the losers finals, or the lower bracket final, if you want to be a little bit more PC about it. But they have lost, so therefore they are in the losers bracket. We're starting off with the legendary battle of WildHeart Esports versus CrowdControl. Statistics! We will have those. We will in fact have those. We have the stats. We're starting off with CrowdControl versus WildHeart Esports. These two teams have not yet faced each other in terms of the actual bracket phase, with CrowdControl losing to Simplicity and WildHeart Esports also losing to Simplicity. So both of them are going to be coming in with a little bit of revenge. But of course they did play against each other in the group stage. So we're going to be seeing CrowdControl being the ones looking for revenge against WildHeart Esports today, with WildHeart Esports winning their last matchup with a 3-2 in their favor. We can also point out the fact that, in fact, CrowdControl have done consistently a little bit better, have done a little bit better in the season, because of course they finished first. And this could actually be shown by looking at their most losses. Whereas for CrowdControl, 18.75% of all of their lost games have been against WildHeart Esports, their most lost games being against Auction Esports, then 30k, well, tied most losses with WildHeart, 30k, and Simplicity. That is their most amount of lost games, with Auction being the most, but Auction are out. So WildHeart, CrowdControl haven't done too terribly against them, whereas if you look at WildHeart Esports, their most losses against Simplicity, with a third of all their games lost being at Simplicity, but only one less game lost versus CrowdControl, the second most amount of losses they have, with a quarter of all of their losses being against CrowdControl. So there is the opportunity for a nice solid revenge. CrowdControl have been a bit of a kryptonite to WildHeart in the past, even though WildHeart were able to beat them out the first time. So we'll see how well they're able to do, see if we can make the comebacks. Both these teams have been flexing their metas a bit and really shifting how it is. Not as much as Simplicity, who have really established their own meta and absolutely refuse to deviate because they keep winning. Who can blame them? So we're going to be getting ready for that. But of course, we mentioned Simplicity. They are our current first place team. The current team poised to take the championship, to take the CCL. If we look at them, their most wins are against 30k, most losses are against 30k, who are already out, and then they have a tied amount of losses versus CrowdControl, Sidestep, Kings, WildHeart, and WildHeart Esports. So they have only 17% of their losses against those teams, so it's going to be pretty even no matter who they play against here. They seem pretty comfortable versus both, having lost a single map to both of them in the playoff stage. So, we're going to be getting ready to do that, but first, game number 1 is where we will be starting today. And again, that is going to be CrowdControl versus WildHeart Esports. I'm quickly spying on the main stream to try and get me some information, he says, as the main stream proceeds to break. Let's refresh that quickly to make sure that I can actually get all the bloody info. Ah, they're showing recaps. Okay, there we go. Feels good. I was like, why is there a game on the screen? That doesn't seem right. Why would there be a game on? But it's good. We fixed it. So, I'm going to get on Hell Yeah. Boom. Showing the love. So, we're going to be getting ready to jump into what will be an insane series, hopefully. The last time these two teams played against each other again, it went to a 3-2. It's a best of 5 all the way through here until we reach the grand finals. So this match is a best of 5. The grand finals will be a best of 7 with a maximum of 6 maps. Due to the fact that because Simplicity are coming through the upper bracket, they will start with a 1-game lead, meaning that they only have to win 3 games to emerge victorious, whereas WildHeart Esports or CrowdControl will have to win 4. So the advantage will be in Simplicity's corner. So, CrowdControl versus WildHeart Esports. Again, both these teams have very different styles here, with the triple bruiser composition being a little more consistent for WildHeart Esports, being one of the teams to actually utilize it the most, compared to CrowdControl, who seem to prefer a little bit more of a standard 2-2-1 setup, with 2 frontliners, 2 ranged, and 1 healer. If we look at recent compositions, WildHeart have also expanded out their hero pool, burning out the Vikings twice. Losing with the Vikings, though, to Simplicity, but they did bust it out. They brought out Vikings, a lot of Uther, and a lot of Lily comps. Lily has really jumped up in terms of their priorities as well, and has been working very well for them, so that's very nice to see. See exactly how well and what they're able to do with that, including a backdoor Lily during the previous series. And the Zarya coming in as well, something that used to be kind of a key pick for CrowdControl. The Zarya sneaking in a couple times for them, and against Oxygen, picking them up a win there. They've also been running a little bit more of the Deathwing. But if you look at their recent compositions, we do see, like we said, that standard setup of 2 frontliners, 2 ranged, and 1 healer, with the exception of both these teams really leaning a bit more into the double healer compositions as well, especially when Uther is in play. CrowdControl versus Oxygen, for example, burning out the Uther, Tychus, Hogger, Stukov, etc. So they do have a lot of flexibility there, both these teams, ready and waiting when it is needed. So, I'm keeping an eye on the mainstream, seeing if I can get the map bans this time. See if I can get them. Also, fair warning, you may notice that I may not be as smooth as before. We had some pretty big stutters last week, so what I've done is I've turned the frame rate down to 30 frames per second. I'm sorry if that is a problem for some people, but it is a situation of we were having trouble with a little bit of the rendering when it came to some stuff, so we have turned the frame rate down, and hopefully rendering half the amount of frames will make it a little bit easier for my little computer to actually run everything and keep everything running smoothly. We've also got the aircon on this time, and I fixed it so it actually works this time, so that everything will be nice and cooled, and we will be good to go. So, statistics-wise, for starters, Zul'jin is allowed. He was banned out, but he was fixed. Big thanks to Pez on Twitter. Aircon dish feels good. We do have Zul'jin allowed. The patch fixed his bug, and we have seen a couple teams utilizing him in the NGS Storm Division qualifiers, the other best Heroes of the Storm in the world right now, which you should be watching. If you are watching Storm Division, then what are you doing? Watch all the good esports. It's brilliant. I cast it sometimes. So make sure you tune into that. It's brilliant. The qualifiers are still going on. So make sure you watch those, but we see the Zul'jin start to appear from teams like One Direction and Regen, bringing them in, which includes players like Dynao and Cascon. Alrighty, so I'm still keeping an eye on the mainstream. Give me the map bans. Sweaty games, no sweaty Tetcher. Hopefully not, because I get sweaty very easily. It's a warm boy. Some Masters Clash casting incoming. Nope. As I've said before, they reached out to me. I gave them a rate, and instead of trying to negotiate or talk about it at all, they just proceeded to never respond to me again. So, yeah. No Masters Clash casting for me. If it's open casting, I might try and find it or get in on it. But they asked me, and then they decided to not talk or negotiate at all. So, no Masters Clash casting for me at the moment. So, we're going to be getting ready to jump into game number 1 very shortly. Come on, give us the game! 10 minutes in! 10 minutes of preamble! Alrighty. So, we're still very excited to be getting ready to go. CrowdControl, especially looking for a bit of revenge. They came in at seed number 1 and struggled in that upper half of the bracket, and even struggled in the lower half of the bracket, very nearly dropping down to Oxygen Esports. Having a little bit of trouble there, only winning in a 3-2. A very intense series, all available on the Tetcher YouTube channel. Feels good. So we'll see how well they're able to fight their way through, make their way back in. Stream rip? It shouldn't be. It's fine on my side. I'm not dropping any frames. Everything shows good on my side. Hang on, let me check my dashboard quickly. Fine for you? Okay, I won't check my dashboard because everyone else seems to be pretty fine and chill. Might be worth a refresh, Crescent. Make sure everything's good and sorted for you. Oh, crap, I didn't mean to do that. List mode, there we go. I accidentally grid moded my overlay, and I don't want to do that because my overlay is terrible with grid mode. You see okay? So yeah, Crescent might be worth a quick refresh. Hopefully it'll be good and sorted for you after that. And hopefully we'll be good to go. Come on, Brody's map bands. And at least, a minimum, where's the draft? I just want the draft more than anything else. Oh, the draft's here. I missed the map bands, but it looks like we have a draft, so I guess let's get into that. We don't know the map band. And let's head in. We're heading into game number 1, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get this going. You refresh, get one word before I start spinning and trying to load. Have you tried a different browser? Very weird. Very weird. I can't help you, unfortunately, Crescent Method, because I have a cast to do. Move to 160. That's so weird, because the only thing that has changed is I'm now sending less frames. That is the only thing that has changed. That is very peculiar. Everything else is the same. But hey, 160p, it might not be so bad considering the bit rate that the clean feed is sent to us in. So let's do this. Alrighty, so we are into the draft phase. We are seeing that Uther banned away. Both these teams do play that double support style, so seeing that removed, very sensible. Take that out of action as soon as possible. Chromie also taken out. Chromie is absolute evidence that Blizzard do not give a crap about professional heroes anymore because the most recent patch did not touch either of these two heroes, Medivh or Chromie, despite the fact in professional play they currently have an 85 and 84% inclusivity rate respective of Chromie the 85 and Medivh the 84, with a ban rate of 72 and 62. 72 for Medivh, 62 for Chromie. And the fact that neither of them were touched in that most recent patch means that Blizzard just don't care. We're going to be seeing the Hanzo and Sonya. Very quick Maiev coming in. Where's the overlay gone? Where are our teams? We can see their WildHeart, luckily, because we see the names, but they've just lost the overlay again. Clean feed! Yay! Freaking superb! Let's go! This is what we deal with on a weekly basis. Feels amazing. Alrighty, so the Sonya Hanzo. We've been seeing a lot of teams pick up that Sonya main tank. WildHeart and Oxygen especially. But in this case, we're seeing Pitkid bust out that Maiev main tank. It picked them up quite a few wins in the recent series. So seeing it pop up once again isn't actually that surprising. Their Maiev win rate is a solid 66%, a 2-1 win rate. And with that Malthael coming in, taking a leaf out of Cure's book, they've yet to win with Malthael, but it's a really solid choice to deal with multi-bruiser compositions, which the meta seems to show. And with Medivh protecting both of them, either one are going to be incredibly hard to kill and get a good amount of damage. Very cool to see. Mei and Deckard coming in here. Mei has also jumped up in priority recently due to the rise of due to some recent patches and due to the rise of the new meta with multiple bruisers on the board. The zoning capabilities and the CC immunities of Mei are able to really control the objectives very well and really punish those multiple frontline compositions, with the opportunity to either go for the Ice Wall, which got buffed recently for reasons, or to go for that Avalanche for disengage. Going to be seeing the Mephisto coming in with a Malfurion mana reduction for that. Mephisto has worked very, very well for WildHeart to really get that damage output. They've been leaning on it very heavily recently. And yeah, in theory, we could see Deckard Lornado build with new Lornado on the line. If you want to commit to that level 20, the troll play is there, and if not, go for the stay one and listen into Mei Blizzard is very effective. As Cassia will be the second damage dealer, exactly what we were talking about before. 2 front lines, 2 assassins, very standard for crowd control. They like to lean a little bit that way instead. Whereas on WildHeart's side, we see this. 2 assassins, 2 frontline. Neither one's actually a main tank, but that is fine, and a support. Let's see how this goes as we're going to be getting ready to jump into this. So, we'll jump back to me while the game loads in. So, Mephisto, we were talking about him earlier. We've been seeing WildHeart leaning quite heavily on Mephisto recently, and for good reason. 83% win rate. 5 and 6 is their... Sorry, 5 and 1 is their win rate on Mephisto. It is ridiculously insane. So getting the value there could be really important. Stay a while, that's why I think we might still be going for Stay a While and Listen, but if not, I would love to see the Lordado. I hope we do. Also, interestingly enough, CrowdControl have a 100% win rate with Deckard Cain over 2 games, so they have only played him twice, but they've yet to lose with him. So we do know X-Ray, very experienced with that Deckard, very solid player in general. 2 of the best supports in the world coming in here for the fun. Ah, yes, predictions. I forgot about those. We're going to have to run quite a short one, I'm afraid, because I forgot to start them. So, hang on. Who will win game 1? We're only going to have a minute. We'll give 2 minutes. We'll give 2 minutes. So, CrowdControl versus WildHeart. I always forget this bit. I always forget the predictions. They're new and they're new and confusing to me, and I'm a boomer. Feels good. Thank you for the bits. Predictions have started. Who will win game 1? Confirm. All right, you got 2 minutes to go in there. You da pog. Thank you, Tramersted, as the game has begun. Get your votes in. Let's get it going. Ladies and gentlemen, on the right-hand side, still missing our freaking overlay. On the left, it's going to be WildHeart. On the right, it will be CrowdControl. Let's get this going. Where is our overlay, CCL? Team! Team! The fact that this doesn't surprise me anymore really shows a lot. Also, we have no game sound. Yep, it's up full. There is no game sound at all. Superb. Absolutely genius. Glad that this is how we start off the lower bracket finals. Okay, looks like the sound will be fixed in like 30 seconds. There is a delay. But alright, let's get this going. We can at least talk about the talents. Lightning Fury coming in for the Cassia. We're starting off pretty standard for most heroes here. Heat transfer for May. A Sapphire for Deckard, going with a bit more siege focus here. And that Emerald's going to be very, very good against that Malfurion. Very cool to see. Let's see how they go. Bud's already getting siege down, but he's already got 8 stacks on that Arcane Rift. Very exciting to see indeed. Pickett clearing up. Still no game sound. It's been 30 seconds. Ah, well, I guess. Gonna see them clearing up. Portal coming in. I'm going to turn on draft music so you guys don't just... Never mind! Sound! Hooray! We're going to be focusing in a huge invade onto the point. Loma going to quickly cryostasis to buy himself some time. He doesn't have another blue. They're going to try and knock him off the point, but instead he goes down to Pitkin, who's able to vault to the waters away on a vertical stand on the point, but it's still going to be, thanks to the invade of Sonya, it will be CrowdControl who take the first fight. CrowdControl coming out on top there, take the early lead. Very confusing start. We still don't have the freaking nameplates. This'll just be what you get, I guess. Lovely. X-Ray gonna take a little bit of damage from Unaverted, who's currently not in Mimic forms. Needs to be careful where he's standing. Gets hit by the Snowblind of Loba. Not enough to commit as of yet. Malthael and Sonya continue to duel up there. It's a Fear the Reaper coming in from the Malthael, so he's going for a little bit more of speed boost to get him to try and out-micro Dayquaza. There's that die alone. Very sensible here. We're also seeing Malfurion going for a little bit of self-sustain this time with the Rejuvenation, giving himself a little bit of extra self-healing, and the Strangling Vines, anti-heal of his own. So good on May, so good on anyone, on heroes who are being affected by Deckard, so good on Sonya. If you can trap her down, it's going for a full Sandbill, so she won't have that Whirlwind, the Hurricane, to get rid of those roots, so she could be focused very easily. In a light for the Cassia, a little bit of extra sustain there. Ruby and Sapphire. Is this full gem build? There's that Strangling Vines, the anti-healing. Shuts down a little bit of that cryostasis value for Loba. So already having a little bit of trouble. We're seeing no Spite. This is a very low globe map, so not too surprising to not see Spite coming in for the Mephisto, instead going for that static barrier, allowing him to harass a little bit more effectively. Here comes the Tether, but a great Blizzard zones them away. Whirlwind coming in, full slam build. Portal has to be used by PitKid to disengage. The value of Sonya, the insane burst damage she offers. Great on Immortal Race, which they do win very easily, and also great pressure. Loba pulled in Cryostasis to block the damage of Unaverted. It's gone for that spell armor now. Great Fend comes in, and that's going to be the double kill to Malfurion and onto the Maiev. Bud's forced to back away, portaling out. But again, we're seeing the burst value, the hard engage potential of CrowdControl coming into play very quickly for them. Working out very well in their favor already. Level 7, just around the corner, half a level away for the side of CrowdControl, who just won a brutal Immortal Race. Scatter Arrow nearly done at this stage already, so they have a very solid lead. Rutzau already in position, clearing up as quick as they can, setting up for the push with Dynao here. We're not going to see a full gem build, sad times. No full commitment there as they push in further. Root onto PitKid. Blizzard does not land the finishing blow. Pushing forward, passively, just making the most of their poke. Hanzo not the best building racer, very committed to his Q. Doing the best he can. Dynao, however, those Lightning Furies are very effective. Larb was able to zone some people away. Dequaza even coming in for a little bit of extra race. They're going to try and commit to this 4, which they will be able to get. Malthael going with the Massacre, so they is still committing to a little bit of extra AoE damage. Dialome plus Massacre could still be leaning in for a last right. Could do a Tormented Souls. That's a great Straggling Vines, though. Good setup, and WildHeart pick up a kill. Zergling from behind. Without his extra range, he wasn't able to pick up the kill, but Buds picks it up instead. Arcade Rift is complete. They're looking for X-Ray. Zergling chasing down. He doesn't have the slow from Cold Hand, so we can't slow X-Ray on his retreat, and we will see X-Ray and Dynao maybe escape, although Dynao tethered with Straggling Vines cutting off his escape. That is a great set of counter kills from WildHeart Esports. They pick up 4 kills and get themselves back into this game. 4 kills to 2 now in favor of WildHeart Esports. Waves being cleaned up. A little bit of counter pressure being applied. Maiev build. Moving a little bit out of the realms of normality here. Flexing around with this build. We're going to be seeing a pretty normal level 1 of the Pursuit of Vengeance. We do see a little bit of Nishas. We see some Bonds. It's pretty varied as to which one we see. But Sudden Vengeance coming in for Maiev at level 4. Getting that extra explosion damage. 6% maximum health. Great for burst builds. Really allowing Maiev to capitalize and try and set up hard engages to try and take out those multiple frontliners. Very cool to see. Very smart. It's one of the earliest big percentage damage talents in the game, so very smart to see. And going with the Ruthless Spirit, getting 15% more damage for 4 seconds, stacking up to 30% for each enemy hit by Spirit of Vengeance, aka the pre-blink part of Maev's E. So very sensible. They've got a very hard engage style here to try and just set up a full wombo burst, with Mephisto being able to finish the job. Bruisers being picked up by both teams. Fort advantage right now for CrowdControl, despite losing some kills. They were able to get that fort. They still have a very good push going on. So level 10 is hit for both teams. Twilight Dream, Durance of Hate. There is a last rites coming in here. Leyline Seal and Maiev. Likely to be a Warden's Cage, but we could see her swap out for a quick containment disc to try and isolate someone. On the other side, for CrowdControl, stay a while and listen. There is that Warden's Cage, by the way. Ball Lightning, not going to go with the hard backline engage to try and pick Mephisto, for example. Wrath of the Berserker, Dragon Arrow, and Ice Wall, newly buffed. The good teleport out by Buds there, using the portal to disengage. Halftime show, still a little bit in favor of CrowdControl, who already rushed the objective with Loba, trying to slow the re-engage, trying to slow people getting to his team to try and stop them racing. Unaverted gets a little bit of damage with that Mimic in, and is able to force back quite a few of the members of CrowdControl, who have to take a pretty wide wraparound route due to the pursuit of Buds. They are able to clear up the Bruiser camp while this is happening, though. Here comes the counter race from WildHeart. taking a small advantage of the short time they have before CrowdControl finish clearing that camp to get quite a bit of damage done to the Immortal. It's 2,000 to 8,000 in terms of Immortal health right now. Here comes the Scroll of Sealing onto Zergling. He's going to quickly get out of there. Malfurion with the Nature's Cure. Leyline only hitting X-Ray. Dragon Arrow sidestepped by Weary Day and Zergling. Weary Day trapped away from his team, but Ice Wall also not landing. Tether onto X-Ray, trying to set it up. Durance of Hate from over the wall. But that's a lot of damage immediately onto the Maiev. Down goes X-Ray. The Durance did spread too low, but Portal out. Zergling dancing back and forth, but the Portal expires. He went back through one too many times. There's a great force of will, though. He trades for Sonya, but Buds is too low on the back lane. He's going to try and dance around, but roots out from over the wall. Die now, giving him the vision as Pitkid will blink away. Fight is won by CrowdControl, able to reset. I'm very glad that you resetting your Router Crescent has fixed the problem. CrowdControl grabbed their second Immortal of the game, making the most of their consistent sustain, but basically everyone in their team has, except Hanzo, everyone able to sustain themselves in one way or another to keep the pressure a little bit slower, but more relentless to try and deal with WildHeart Esports and keep the pressure onto them that way. WildHeart's struggling a little bit here. One little misplay from Malthael, getting himself caught out, going through the portal one too many times. They put some pressure on. We already see the Immortal down to full health mode. Shield deleted. It's a full 5-man attack and a full 5-man defense as the second forward of the game is taken out by CrowdControl. Zergling, Dragon Arrow from over the wall. Nature's Cure cleanses it out. Vault of the Warders pulling them in. Last Rites will take out Die now. Ice Wall traps Zergling away, but the rest of the team just skips over the Ice Wall instead with the portal. Leyline. Strangling Roots. Good anti-healing onto Lauba, but not enough to set up that kill. Down goes the Immortal, as we will see that removed. Very nicely done. CrowdControl moving down to the bottom lane. War Traveler for the Cassia. Ancient Blessings for the Deckard Cain. A little bit of extra sustain that way, a little bit of extra burst. Mei, again, pretty standard build. Nothing too out of the ordinary here. This is what has become the normal build these days. Inevitable end for the Malthael. Extra cleanse coming in. Shard of Hate for the Mephisto. It's the cooldown reduction that you get. Even if you don't have Spite, it still gives you quick resets on all your abilities. They set themselves up. Bot wave will be cleared out pretty quickly here. Top lane going to be counter-pushed. CrowdControl setting themselves up to get some good damage that way. Buds just keeping an eye onto the enemy team. They do have a Raven Familiar Portal at the ready if they want to go hard, but Mimic means unaverted, unable to follow up too well. There's the Warden's Cage. Ice Wall is sidestepped. The Tether does not pull X-Ray in. Dragon Arrow onto the back line, but Leyline splits the team in two. Last Rites, not enough to finish off Lauba. Die now trying to find the back line. Great sleep onto 4 members. Weary Day will get the Twilight Dream off, but is completely killed off before getting any more value. And that stay a while from X-Ray shuts down the re-engage of WildHeart Esports as CrowdControl continue to claim control over this game number 1. Very nicely done by CrowdControl. They hold the lead now over a full level lead, but WildHeart, they are still relentless. They know they can make comebacks with this kind of composition. They have the opportunity to re-engage here. Malfurion will return from base. Zergling pushed in a little bit, able to step back. Everyone is able to regroup from the side of WildHeart. They have the full team here, but Heroics still on cooldown. Just about to come off cooldown. For CrowdControl, their Heroics on a little bit of a shorter cooldown here, making it a little bit harder. See them back up, stay a while, up in 3 seconds. That's the last Heroic they have left. Warden's still 20 out, same with Twilight Dream for the members of WildHearts, who look like they might be willing to engage. Portal is used. Weary Day, a little bit more patient with his. They portal in, portal out, camp still being leashed. The bait from Die now, shutting that down. So instead, we quickly see an attempt at burning through the shield by WildHeart. They're not defending at all. This is all the commitment. Level 16 is hit for CrowdControl. They try and make the engage. Dragon Arrow comes out quickly. Nature's Cured out. Good portal to disengage, but the Fed on the backline. Leyline has to be burned. We will see WildHeart disengaging, but a little bit rough. Again, having to burn some big cooldown heroics just to disengage. However, quite a few were used for the engage there. Dragon Arrow, Ice Wall, and Wrath all being burned. Tether pulling in the Cassia. Goodbye. Die now taken out. Portal, though, not going to be able to be used by Mephisto. Unaverted, caught in the root there. Unable to escape. And the Scatter Arrow of Hanzo takes out the Medivh. Here comes the rest of CrowdControl trying to push in. Lauber setting himself up, trying to zone away Zergling. Rutsau putting on quite a lot. Rutsu, I believe I was told it was pronounced last week. As they believe to push in, try to set themselves up with a half-shield Immortal. This looks like it may be game number 1. Icewall sidestepped once again, but it splits the team in 2. Weary healing up. Pitkin vaulted the water, saves himself again. Zergling's right into the backline. They're going to commit very hard to this Tether. Only really hits X-Ray, but the anti-heal does shut him down a little bit. Pitkin focused down, though. The damage of Sonya is so much. They're going to try and turn it. Durance lands onto Sonya, but it doesn't stop her hitting the core. Stairwell shuts down the re-engage, but they are all woken up. The Immortal is way too healthy, though, and that's going to be game number 1, going over to CrowdControl. CrowdControl take the lead in this best-of-5 series, getting themselves 1 game closer to that grand final and rematch versus Simplicity. WildHeart struggling a bit there. The damage output of Sonya and the zoning and disengage potential of the Mei proving to be a very big issue here. The Mei, a clutch pickup by Lauber to turn that game on its head. Very fun to see. All right, it looks like the overlay will be back next game. Okay. We've been informed that that shall be returned. Alrighty, so do we get post-game stats, or are they busy fixing the thing? Looks like we don't get post-game stats, so we'll just jump back to my face. Well done! Game number 1 going over to CrowdControl in a very convincing style. That 1 overextension in the bot lane was a good opportunity for WildHearts to make their way back in, but overall, a convincing win for CrowdControl, able to take that game and run with it, using the very heavy burst damage of that W build Sonya to focus down Maiev anytime she really engaged. The Mei cutting that team in 2 multiple times. Prediction result, thank you very much. Choose outcome. A lot of people went for CrowdControl, 84 to 16, and they were correct. CrowdControl takes game number 1. Bush! CrowdControl already doing a solid job to take the lead in this series. Let's see if they can continue this going. I'm going to quickly jump to studio mode, see if I can catch any information about the next map. We'll have to wait and see. So, we're getting ready. Oh no! Why oh no? Everything's fine. Oh, because they lost points. Oops. Sorry, Hofoja. the issue with the gambling feels bad, man. Alrighty. I hope everyone's ready for game number 2. I don't want to waste any time. I want to just keep pushing forward. I want to keep going. Also, I believe CCL have their MVP up, or is that going to be happening after CCL? I don't know. Hang on. There was gonna be a thing where there was gonna be a poll on who was MVP, because I have my thoughts on who might deserve to be MVP, because there's some good options there. Excuse me. Also, I believe if there's a CCL awards, voting's open until the 18th. On January 25th, they'll hold the finals MVP vote. There we go. Makes sense. Alrighty. Feels good. Alrighty. Feels good. Yeah, there's going to be a show next week for Finals MVP. Yep, that makes sense. Is that when the actual awards are happening as well? Because there's apparently a fancy halftime show. I wasn't sure if the awards were in that. Because the voting's already over. I don't really know. I don't really remember anything about this. There's been some information. I don't remember any of it. That's how it be sometimes. There's so much information just fed at once, it's hard to keep track of it all. Hey, maps! Alright, so bans. Garden was banned by CrowdControl, Dragon was banned by WildHeart, and now CrowdControl are taking us to map number 2, which is Sky Temple. There we go, we got it. We fixed it. Feels good. So yeah, there is an award show. I just don't know what's up with that. I don't really know what's going on there. I want to see if my boy Cascone got any awards, because he's kind of great. Best analyst. Feels good. Oh, well. Not much we could do, but wait and see. Oh, there we go. Heroes Award Show. That's on the 30th. Gotcha. That's when the award show is. I found the info. We goodsies. We found all the info, so we don't need to worry about that during the halftime show. Feels good. So, once again, Sky Temple is going to be our second map of the day. This should be a good one. Lots of globals, the potential for maybe WildHeart to bust out that Vikings again. They've been very happy running that in the last few days, sneaking it in a couple of times. So far, they have a 0% win rate with the Vikings, so we'll see if they will take the risk on going that direction again, or if they'll finally give up on it and move away to something a little bit more standard. In terms of other global heroes who could give them very quick rotations, very quick global abilities, they do play a bit of Zagara, so they could go for a Nidusworm Zagara style, 50% win rate on her. They have a 66% win rate on Dehaka. They can always stage dive ETC, 0% win rate on him. Oof. Deathwing, 42% over 7 games, 3 and 4. As we do have our draft set up, ladies and gentlemen. Let's head in. Do we get our overlay? Believe. 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 Do we get our teams? There we go. We're in. We are good. They don't even need full globals, of course. They could go for just very quick double soakers. They play Leoric. They play Malthael. They do play Zool. They have a lot of heroes who can double soak very effectively. We've already seen Sonya. We're going to see Uther banned out once again. Neither team wanting to deal with that double support style that has plagued the meta recently. Muradin being called by the chat would not be a bad choice here. CrowdControl's Lulba very strong on the Muradin. Right wing, sorry, the Vikings banned out this time once again. Strong picks, but not wanting to deal with it for a second, not wanting to deal with it again, just worth banning out instead. Chromie was allowed up, but it's going to be Tychus higher prioritized by Buds. CrowdControl now left with the Chromie. Let's see if they pick it up. They, of course, do play it. Only twice, though. 50%. They prioritize the Cassia instead. Makes a lot more sense. Cassia is in their top played heroes. 14 games. The only hero they've played more is Stukov with 15 games. So not surprising at all to see those being brought out here. So immediately we see the Stukov and the Chromie stolen away by WildHeart Esports. They are very proficient with the Chromie. 100% win rate over 5 games with Chromie. So of course they're going to pick it up if it is left open to them. They now have Insane Burst, a great tank killer in the form of Tychus. Their draft is shaping up very nicely. Let's see the front line. Will they pick a real tank? That is the question. With one of their actual main tanks being stolen away, with Sonya being taken by CrowdControl. They're going to ban Diablo. Again, if we look at WildHearts, they don't play main tanks that often. In their top played heroes, the most played actual tank they have played is Diablo, with 4 games all season. 4. They do not play tanks. Arthur's 3 games, Garrosh 3 games. They don't play tanks. So we're going to see Johanna banned away. But CrowdControl still trying to remove heroes that would set up with this. Diablo into Chromie would be insane here. We could see maybe a Varian style. Varian with Chromie is an insane setup combo, but we've yet to see Varian being played by WildHearts. This was more of a Chili Mountain style strategy, aka one of the only strategies they ran that worked. I'm sorry, that's mean. They did ram some stuff that did do very well. They just didn't pick up the wins. Brightwing and May coming in here, giving themselves some solid disengage. And the May, once again, adding blinds to the Tychus, the spell armor on level 4 to deal with the Chromie. It's a smart pick. And again, May really jumping up in priority recently. With the new patch, she has had a very big jump with sustain. That cooldown reduction of Ice Wall is so strong. And if not, Avalanche is still a good ability. May is also very good against the triple bruiser front lines, as we do see a main tank D.Va coming in here for PitKid. With D.Va main tank, that is defense matrix for a lot of damage reduction, a lot of disruption for a charge build. There are two different ways you can really run this main tank's D.Va to be very effective. You could even go for a sheer nuclear option build, going with that level 4 talent and maybe the defense matrix cooldown reduction. They could go for a very flexible style here and give a lot of area control to try and control things like the boss and the objective with that cooldown reduction. Instead, we see CrowdControl picking up the Falstad as their second damage dealer, adding themselves a little bit of global potential, trying to punish the D.Va if she is the main tank for her lack of being able to rotate and support the team in terms of soak, and leaving all that work up to Yrel. The Falstad global potential and the camp clear potential of Falstad is going to be really rough to deal with. For WildHeart, they're going to have to be very on point when it comes to their camp clearing capabilities. Let's see if it's going to be enough. WildHeart, their draft has a little bit of a higher burden of execution here, and we usually do lean into the Occam's Razor style that the easiest draft to do is the better draft. I forgot the frickin' predictions again. I tried to do them during the draft, but we'll fix it. We'll have it up. We'll give it 2 minutes again in the game. And predictions. Got it. Predictions are up. Who will win game number 2, ladies and gentlemen? Predictions after draft is perfect. Actually, for 5 minutes, you usually get a little bit of time after draft as well. Fair enough. I'll start doing them after the draft. We are good, as we do have the game up and running. Let's jump in, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, overlay! We get it today. Let's jump in. On the left-hand side, on the right-hand side, it will be CrowdControl. 2 games away from moving on to the grand finals. Let's see if they can do it for a standard draft for them. Running that Falstaff as a global, very smart. On the right, WildHeart Esports with main tank D.Va, baby. And of course, is going to be a liquid cooling D.Va, the quicker burst healing. Very sensible if you want to, stay alive in a big tank fight. Getting that huge fountain of healing gives you a very solid sustain. They're going to try and set up in the bush. Dino spots them. Great scout with the Lightning Fury. A little bit of Dragon Breath comes in from Chromie. Not able to set up any kills. They tried to set the trap, but they were rumbled. No luck coming in for now. PitKid, clear it up. Takes a lot of damage. Has to burn the liquid cooling already, but it's still getting focused down. Mech is popped. The 3-man timeout. Not enough. X-Ray barely dodging the Sandblast. But they are able to survive, but losing that mech and the liquid cooling already. Now, obviously, liquid cooling means this isn't so bad. Losing the mech is still bad because you do still give away XP to the opponent's team, and you lose the opportunity to stack self-destruct charge. But you still get the cooldown reduction. You're getting that 25% longer fountain and a 50-second cooldown reduction on the fountain, meaning that we will see a D.Va able to use that full sustain later without too much difficulties. Yrel finally making her way up to top lane to soak that minion wave. Looks like we're seeing Sonya starting on the Bruiser camp very early. Cassia grabs the Siege camp for her team, Chromie and Tychus grabbing it for WildHeart Esports. They will now head up to their Bruiser as well. Tychus and Stukov will begin setting that up. We're seeing the wave clear. Great Gordon Ramsay reference, Black Milk, and thank you very much. Wave's going to be cleared out by both teams, but bot lane, PitKid, going to be the one to deal with that. Using their assassins to clear camps, they use what is technically 2 offlaners to, clear the lanes. It's working out in their favor. Quarterback, despite being nerfed, still being picked up by the Tychus for that little bit of extra damage. Level 4, still biotic armor. Even though it got nerfed, it still gives you 70+ armor on that bio kill switch. It's insane. Especially when you're against Cassia and Falstad. Very auto-attack focused heroes. Falstad, by the way, going for a full auto-attack focused build. Going for a seasoned marksman and hammer gains. You'd expect on this map maybe a little bit of that bribe stat, but instead we're going to go for the classic Chris style of split push and soak. Get as much XP as possible. We're still seeing, despite tank D.Va, going for that rush down, giving that little bit of extra percentage damage. Very solid for wave clear, very solid for a little bit of extra burst. Liquid cooling already active. Front wall is taken out. PitKid doing what he can. Gets a little bit of extra armor from Stukov, caught in the blizzard. Nekwaza pushes forward, and there's the self-destruct. A lot of damage done to Loba, but he tanks through well enough. X-Ray going to top him back up. Great time trap on Cassia there in terms of dynamic pausing. And of course, we do see Sonya making her way up to the rest of the team to leave Falstad to do the split soaking. Maximize the usage of your global heroes to get extra push value, whereas your Rel will have to rotate on foot. Lots of damage onto Pitkid once again. Liquid cooling on cooldown, so already dropping low. The issue with D.Va in this main tank when you're not running a defense matrix style of build. You gotta rely on your healer to do a lot of the healing. I'm curious to see how Pitkid will swap to change this build around to maybe add some more healing into and more sustain into this composition to actually be more of a main tank. Level 4, we're likely going to see that hit the Nitros. That mini stun will help out a lot. That little bit of extra CC will work out nicely. Good sustain. They do steal quite a lot of the shots, but mid-rotation for CrowdControl. They're going to seize control there and begin taking the shots. They got a couple of the shots top, so now trading out, and if they can get all of mid, this will be a good trade in their favor. Dayquaza pushing it very aggressively with Loba. The timeout, and Dayquaza, his spear doesn't take him all the way there. Nicely done. Rutzau on the side. Great flank onto Buds, who is focused down completely. Healing from Weary Day is good, and they do get out of danger. No one dying here from either team, but Dayquaza still looking a little low. They're going to dash away. Zergling coming in for one more chance. Pick here with percentage damage, trying to finish off anyone. Die now escapes. X-Ray keeping everyone topped up. But WildHeart, again, winning the fight. The burst damage in this case, working out in their favor. Not having as much sustain, but they're able to trade out a little bit more efficiently here. And they do work out quite nicely. In the rhythm for Tychus, up to 27 stacks. And we're seeing the melting point. Extra wave clear for Buds here. Falstad flies to mid. They're going to try and guarantee some of these shots. But Rutzau, they've got a little too deep here, takes quite a bit of damage. Buds from over the wall. There's a lot of damage to Rutzau, who rolls away. Here's Dyna from the other side. Last remaining shots on this first objective phase. Lurking Arm trying to separate the team aside. Dash out with self-destruct. Trying to zone out Rutzau and successfully doing so. Here comes the dive. This time trying to pick someone up again. Unsuccessful. But WildHeart trading out again. This time great use of the mech for that extra health pool. And Urel rotating in perfectly. But while this was happening, Falstad immediately rotated and got some split soak value. They're going to pick up the play there, get themselves a little bit of camp value. Rutzau, he has vision of people on mid. He's actually pushing in very aggressively. He's lost some vision on D.Va now. You can see that's why he pulls back to a safe position. Still has Die now with him, so doesn't feel too much in danger as level 10 creeps in for both teams. Camps being taken by both teams. Bruisers for CrowdControl, Siege Camp for WildHeart Esports. They smash their way through this Bruiser camp. Not too much trouble. Dayquaza able to clear this solo, but the team helping out for extra value. Now is dueling Urel as bot lane is getting pushed in very hard. Buddy Hop, newly buffed, the first newly buffed talent getting picked up today. We're also seeing a Mighty Gust and Ice Wall once again. May, I guess, technically as well. Also, we do see the reactive Ballista Pause, despite the fact that it was also nerfed, so all the nerf talents still being picked, but the Buddy Hop, this is what will allow Pitkid to be the main tank, the extra crowd control, and a little bit of extra damage on the recent patch as well. I've been running it a lot recently, and Buddy Hop was always fun, but now, if they could get some close grouped up fights, this will allow Pitkid to set up some great engages for his team. With Slowing Sands combined, this could be great. Charges in, you can see, thinking about it, decides against the full engage. Because of this, we may in fact see D.Va go for in for the kill at level 16 to go for that extra shielding, allowing her to engage a little bit more effectively and safer. Boss being scouted, no one there. Bud spots this going on. It's enough to force a little bit of a disengage from the members of CrowdControl. WildHeart Esports defending well. Falstad continuing to push top lane for CrowdControl though, forcing the reaction out of Zergling. Camp is cleared. Great stun by Zergling there onto that camp to split it a little bit while we weren't looking. Now dodging the grenade of Buds, who's really trying to siege in. Trying to stay away from people. Shots already coming in. WildHeart Esports. Here comes the charge. Buddy Hop into the backline. Sets up. Stuns out Cassia. Slowing Sands. Double stun. But no one is in position for that. Ice Wall shuts it down. Self-destruct coming in. Zergling trying to keep him in. The self-destruct does not land. But the damage might be enough with Dyna dropping low. Great healing from right wing. They take out Urel. Dyna escapes so barely. Able to get out of there. I would be an idiot if I didn't show you that again. What just happened, ladies and gentlemen? We see the pursuit onto Die now. The bunny hop, the only person without the mobility yet to escape, gets 2 stuns. Unaverted comes in with the slow, but you can see Weary Day and Tychus not in position for the follow-up. Yrel comes in, drops the stun, but the peekaboo from Brightwing shielding, the blink heal to keep Die now alive, and then the one last cleanse to remove the slow. Ball lightning, not enough for the finishing blow. And the escape by Die now. Shots being taken by CrowdControl. So clutch with that sustain. The extra armor even, by the way, from Brightwing. Giving that a little bit of extra spell armor. X-Ray keeping them alive that way through the extra damage. And Die now barely able to escape. Still here with this team. Here comes the little bit of extra root. The virulent reaction. For the Stuttgart, they now have a bit of an extra engage. Interesting, Aldor Peacekeeper coming in for Yrel, despite not having the extra area on level 1. Bunny Hop outlasts Wind Tunnel for bosses. At level 20 it does. If you want to go maximum meme, we're going to see the boss actually being started by WildHeart, making the most of that unstoppable 4 Pitkin that the Bunny Hop does offer. Blizzard splits the team, does stun out the Diva. Unaverted currently being forced to take the tanking. Both Brightwing and Falstad, both top lane, clearing out. Remember, they are global, though. Loba trying to keep vision, but Buds will begin to zone away. This might force the reaction out of Falstad a little bit earlier than they would have hoped. Die now on the other side. Brightwing comes in. They're trying to force their way forward. Boss looking low. Odin is dropped. Slowing Sands on the objective to try and buy them some time. Falstad flying in to set this up. There is the great polymorph, but Bunny Hop holding the point. Multi-man stun. Good Ice Wall. Completely stasising out the Diva, guaranteeing the boss over to CrowdControl. Great secure there. What a steal. The Ice Wall to guarantee the shots. Gus to split the team. Boss goes over to CrowdControl, holding on to their lead. They push in the mid lane. Pressure being applied. Stasis, of course, goes through Unstoppables. There's the Ardent Defender. Great time trap to set this up. Great knockback. Zergling is getting revenge for that boss steal. Picks up the double kill with the help of Buds. They look for Loba, but he's too fast. But what an engage there. Very nicely done by WildHeart Esports, getting their revenge. Boss got cleared up by the towers, and they're going to grab the last 4 of the game for this. Last one on the enemy side, at least. WildHeart still have their own middle fort. Going to clear that up. Loba backing away from Buds, and not a fight worth taking. Level 16, almost available for both teams. Loba tries to claim back. Will blind them out here. Buds backing away because Die now. He's got War Traveler and he's fast. Ball Lightning comes in. There's the great Surge of Light, and Weary Day taken out by the Ball Lightning. Ice Wall does not land. Still chasing Die now. He's relentless. He charges in, doesn't give a crap. They're going to try and take out Unaverted instead. Slowing Sands catches Rutzau. There's the slow. Blizzard is good. Just hits the stun, and that's enough for the second kill. CrowdControl, relentless pursuit, grabbing kills on the board. Pitkin trying to get some stacks here. He did go for a diverting power at level 16 here, and he is also dead. So not going with the emergency shielding to try and sustain himself through those bunny hops. Not going for the kill for sustain. Honestly, I love diverting power. This one's a little weird to me. He's got multiple ranged heroes to go against, but that one is a little weird to me. Bud's trying to burn through Loba, but it was all a bait. And CrowdControl feel like they're farming WildHeart Esports now, picking up yet another kill. 5 kills to 2, 3 kills in the last few minutes, staggering the deaths. 15 seconds between almost every single death for WildHeart Esports. CrowdControl, they are picking up the objectives now. The camp also being stolen away. Down goes that was the last fort of the game. Sizzling attacks for Tychus with the Neosteel plating to try and keep himself alive. See Pitkin backing away, staying safe. Justing, really trying to keep themselves alive here. Needs to be the tank for the team. Those bunny hops so strong, but they haven't been able to get a good team fight to utilize them in quite a while. due to the momentum being gained by CrowdControl, who are looking good today. They have to make sure, though, that they are good when it comes to Simplicity's completely different playstyle. A difference has to be made. There is no prize difference between third and fourth. There is a prize difference between third and second. So this win also affects the prize money that each team will get. See if they can step any further. Zergling continuing to lane clear. Falstad doing global hero things. Very hard split push. Trying to force a reaction, but instead we see WildHeart playing chicken. Trying to get some extra value. Pause being forced. The global value of Falstad coming into play immediately, forcing a multi-man port. They're going to try and chase down Falstad. Bruiser Camp is being cleaned up in the top lane. Zergling will get rid of this, but the ports were forced and the value was gained by Falstad. Level 20. Just a small amount of XP away from CrowdControl. Still over a full level away from WildHeart Esports. They set up in the middle of the map. Yarel getting ready to just go in with the stun. She has that righteous momentum, so she really wants to go for that hard dive. Falstad never ported. He just hid in that bush. Level 20 is hit. Infinite Ball Lightning. The Ignore Pain for the Sonya. Or Nerves of Steel. I always get those two mixed up. Generic sustain talent. It is the Ignore Pain. Wind Tunnel. Shatter for the Mei and Invisible Friends. A little bit of extra Brightwing invisibility and a little bit of extra healing. Everyone forgets about the healing output it gives. Boss is available. CrowdControl. Are they willing to risk it? Chromie scouted. No one showed in the Chromie vision. They might actually get away with this not being seen. They begin to rush it in. So far, no one appears to have noticed. They actually just outplayed the Chromie vision, and Boss, despite level 20 not being available, WildHeart definitely just going to play around this as well. Even if they had seen it, there was a chance they wouldn't have engaged. They play around it. The Boss is taken, but level 20 is going to be hit by CrowdControl, by WildHeart Esports as well, so they have a little bit of an extra disengage. But still, it's cool to see. Even though they might not have engaged anyway, it's still cool. We do like plays like that. As level 20 is hit. Seraphim for the Yarel. Push comes to shove. Bob and Weave for Tychus. A little bit of extra mobility. Doesn't actually gain any value for him. Self-destruct for Wave Clear. Blizzard does hit Pitkid, who's able to avoid getting picked off. Actually going to stay in pilot mode to add to the Wave Clear speed of the boss. Not picking level 20 yet. Is it going to be the pop and lock? Piercing Sands, by the way, for the Chromie. Mid-keep barely survives. Ablative Armor or Pop and Lock would be the go-to talents here. It's Pop and Lock, baby! Let's go! They're pushing in, invading the camp, trying to set up some value. Pitkid will finally jump into the mech, and they will steal the siege camp. Not even going to be contested. CrowdControl realizing it was pointless to fly Falstad down when they could just clear that up. But it is going to be Pop and Lock. For those who do not know, Pop and Lock means as long as D.Va stands still, the duration of her bunny hop will not go down. So as long as she stays still, she can do bunny hop indefinitely. Whether this is good or not is another question. Because it's good for zoning the objective, but the objectives are very wide here. It's good for zoning the boss, but the boss is dead. This is gonna be interesting. I'm really curious to see if Pitkid gets any value out of this. And it obviously will still not stop Ice Wall. Pitkid being the front line, checking first, seeing if anyone is out of position for an engage. Sonya, Falstad. Falstad's going to be the one to push the bot lane. Infinite Mosh, kinda, but it has a little bit of a setup. It obviously gives people a chance to get out of it due to the fact that it takes a couple seconds to stun. There's like a very split second in between each stun. Begin to clear that out, Falstad. People not showing on the map, positions further back. He could be clearing right now, but he's being sensible. Going to push forward. Pitkid Zones out, immediate polymorph. They're going to try and focus him out. Blizzard stun, not landing. There's the body hop, try to set it up. No value from the pop and lock this time, but they are able to pick up the kill. Very fast kill on Sonya. Falstad immediately moves up, starts pushing bot lane. Rutsal's making his way forward, trying to create some counter pressure, counter value. Rel can solo top. Counter shots being taken. Bot lane's going to be pressured. Mid might just be backdoored by Falstad. That's exactly what's going to happen by the looks of it. Falstad making his way in, picking, zoning away. They push in. Temples firing onto mid lane. Not the best lane choice here. Falstad pushing hard, making the most of that minion. Really trying to push this in. Both teams about to lose a keep, potentially 2. Falstad will get this. Commitment was made by WildHeart to commit to the trade. They are able to grab most of the shots in mid and will likely grab all of them. With the Bruiser Cap in top lane and the shots from Urel, this will be a a keep for keep play as Falstad did go in for the backdoor. 2 keeps to 2. Final shots coming in. The question is, are there enough shots in top to also get bot keep? That is the question, because it's already hurt by the push earlier, and it will. The shots from top will finish the final keep. It is now 1 keep to 0 in favor of WildHeart Esports. Choosing a very solid trade there, not overreacting to the Falstad. Falstad again. No vision is there, so he backs away. Really playing with vision stuff here, trying not to get himself caught out of position. Very smart. Really safe play. Very nicely done, CrowdControl. They're doing a great job here. Rutsao has been on fire this series and is really trying to set his team up for a victory here, despite the fact that they are down a keep. It will not stop them continuing to gain value. Loba zoning away. Siege Camp absolutely deleted. Technically a proxy Siege Camp as it spawned behind the wave now for WildHeart Esports. Will give them a little bit of freedom in that bot lane and will maybe allow their catapults to accumulate. As right now, their catapult is about to die, but they have a full wave coming in. This will give them some freedom. Pickett needs to be careful. We've seen he can get picked off well enough. Right now, the objective for WildHeart is to wait for the next objective, which could be, of course, the actual shrines or the boss. This is the play for them. Buy enough time, set themselves up for a re-engage, and take a fight where they might have an advantage. Yes, Icefall can mess them up on boss, but they can still play around it. They do have their own tools, Massive Shove, for example, to try and deal with this. Boss was aggroed by Lalba. Not going to be a full commitment, though. They don't go for the fight. They try to zone. WildHeart not committing to anything. They're really just trying to give time for catapults, but in the meantime, Falstad does Falstad things. Blizzard splits the team. Pickett moves forward. WildHeart, aggressive posturing right now. Really trying to set something up. Dynow trading back and forth. Neither team goes for a heavy commitment, but the attempt was made by WildHeart Esports. Falstad still nearby, hiding in the bush on the rotation. Temples in 14 seconds. This is where CrowdControl actually have to make a movement, because the temple shots, every shot that WildHeart takes goes onto the core, so they have to avoid that happening. Every shot CrowdControl makes goes onto a keep. WildHeart being very patient with this. This is why they've set up so much. Boss being aggro. They're trying to force a fight, force the play. WildHeart not biting. Of course they won't. They'll buy time. They'll distract here, but you can see the split. Urel on mid. Tigers on bot. They're already through the shield. Buddy Hop with Papa Lock. He dodges the ice wall. There's the stuns coming in with the extra healing. He's tanking through. Beautiful play by Pitkid. What a god there. Dodging the ice wall with the Papa Lock and the shots on the core taken from bottom mid. That's going to be game, and WildHeart evens up the score. Let's see that last play again, because that was wonderful. Look at Pitkid's positioning. He knows exactly where the issue is going to be, and he pays attention to where Loba sets up. He sees the angle, and he just dances out of it, keeps the Papa Lock going with the liquid cooling to stay sustained, sets up for unaverted, and dives all the way in. Nicely done. The self-destruct at the time. Team Nut Spray on the point. And game number 2 goes over to WildHeart Esports, evening up the score in this best of 5 series. I think we're going to be in for a very good night. I'm having a quick drink before we go back to me, because it seems we don't have post-game stats again. Excuse me. There we go. Alrighty. In terms of the false dad stuff, yes, I am aware that I say it false dad quite a lot. And in fact, I have embraced this fact, where if you look below the stream in the merch store on my Streamlabs, you will actually find false dad merchandise, where I told false dad that he is in fact not my real dad. So if you like false dad, and there's the emote, you're not my real dad. I wish we had comms on that play. So do I. So do I. If the player comms would be insane. Unfortunately, I'm not allowed in the player comms. The mainstream is, but they don't allow the off-stream casters, the co-streamers, into the comms, which sucks because I would love that. I would love to use that. Justin's comms, that would be really decent as well. What a god. What a play there after game number 2. The mainstream's going on a break because we're 2 games in. These games going past very quickly, actually. Very nice to see. I hope you're all enjoying, by the way, because I'm having a wonderful time. We had a goal to try and hit 100 subs before the end of the month. Unfortunately, we had a load of gifted subs in December that I forgot about. And unfortunately, because of that, we dropped from 80 subs down to 57. So with 43 subs until 100, I don't think we're getting it before the end of the month. Things this might be the last stream. Excuse me. My apologies. Seeing as this might be the last stream of the month, depending on what else I can find to cast, I don't think we're going to hit 100 subs, but let's see how close we can get. I can only keep casting with all of your help at home, from donations, from subs, from the generosity of people who watch this show and enjoy the casting that I offer. I don't expect to win the CCL awards on the 30th. I'm just happy to have brought you the games in a fun way that I hope you have enjoyed watching. But if you want to support and let me keep doing this, because I can only do it with your help, then please let me know by dropping those subs or donations, or at least being an active member on Twitter, on Reddit, in the community, to share this stream around so that more people can discover the Tetcher version of CCL. Feels amazing. Alrighty, maps. Not yet. Oh wait, I need to do the predictions. Let's fix that. Choose prediction. Choose outcome. Ooh, 91% to CrowdControl, 9 to WildHeart. Ooh, that's rough. WildHeart Esports, complete prediction. That's rough. Big oof. Team. That's a bad set. That was unfortunate. Feels amazing, man. Woo. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, again, we're going to be getting ready to jump into game number 3 as soon as the mainstream gets back from their tea break. And we'll be good to go. Apparently there's some kind of special halftime show. I will see. I will tune in to see what the hell's going on there. I'll make sure that you guys can see it so that you don't miss any of that. I expect it will just be some kind of fancy multiple person in the weeds, if I had to guess. But we will see anyway. I hope you've had a good time. Maybe they'll probably... My theory is for the halftime show, special in the weeds, and then on out season 2. That's my theory. Because I think there will be a season 2. I think this has been successful enough for a season 2. I think people have enjoyed it enough. I think there's been enough support. There was a great post about a prediction for crowdfunding, about maybe 10,000 each time. Would still be pretty decent. So yeah, my prediction is pretty solid that we will see that coming in. So... hope everyone's, again, having a good time. Sub or donate! I can't afford food without it. I've got a food delivery tomorrow, so hooray! Also, I was kind of panicking, so I was like, oh god, if the food delivery doesn't get here in time, I'm going to be late for CCL. Then I remembered, oh yeah, today's the last day, which then made me immediately sad. Unfortunate here. So I just want to have a look at something quickly. CrowdControl. That Falstad play. They have an 80% win rate on Falstad before they ran it in today, and it worked so well. They really nearly set that up. Very nicely done. Absolutely love it. The Falstad value. Exactly, touchy sad. Speaking of which, new emotes coming soon. They're not 100% finished yet, but they are in progress. They were supposed to be done yesterday, but I had a little bit of feedback on some of them. Hang on. I'm going to give you a quick couple seconds preview of the new emotes to maybe inspire you to sub to the Tetcher channel so that you enjoy them. Exclamation mark subs. I don't know what that command is supposed to do, but it doesn't do anything because I haven't got it set up. What the hell just happened? Whatever happened, it wasn't supposed to. It's fine. Nothing went wrong. Nothing broke. Everything is cool. Alrighty, so move you over here. And yeah, here are the new emotes in progress. So again, they're not done. They will change. They are subject to change. But here is what they are in progress. I decided to continue with a bird theme because I have that little false-head griffin. Got a couple owls because YOLO, you obviously love owls. So cool to see that here. Here we've got quite a few. We've got Tetcher lurk. So when you're lurking, you can drop the Tetcher lurk, so you can show that you're lurking and then not say anything for the rest of the stream. I haven't decided what the second one's going to be called yet. We have Tetchy Hope. Props to you if you know what that one is. This one is Tetchy Hands, or Tetche Hands, which I'm very excited for. I hope that one is spammed consistently. I think that one is. This one's going to be Tetchy Who? So when when you don't recognize someone, or you want to see like who did a player that, basically it's going to be the version of the question mark ping for the channel. So make sure that you spam them in. Well, they will all be available once they are complete. They will be available on the channel. And the only way to get your hands on them is to sub, which you already are. Make sure you keep that sub running so that you can see them in the future when they are complete and available. But these are the ones in progress. They're good. I love them. I think they're amazing. I really like Tetche Hands. Tetche Hands. Oh no, everyone's dead. I'm excited. I think it's going to be great. Once again, these are by the wonderful Alarak of the Storm, the HOTS High Lord herself. And she has commissions open. HOTS High Lord on Twitter. So if you go check her out, she makes emotes, she makes artistic drawings. Those Falstad emotes that you see there, the actual full art that it came from, and also the main picture of me and all the other HGC casters, all made by her. She is incredibly talented. She makes great Heroes comics and some great artwork in general. For starters, just follow her Twitter. She makes great Heroes and other game-related artwork in general. Also, but again, her commissions are open, so if you want a beautiful piece of art made, I would 100% recommend, because she's absolutely brilliant. And I'm not even getting a discount to say that. I just think she's good, and you should hire her for all your artistic needs, because I have the artistic skills that finish at the point of Stickman with a bit of shading. That is as best I can do. Stickman with shadow. There we go. Alrighty, is the mainstream back from their break yet? Let's have a look. Let's have a quick peek here. Yes, they are. So we'll be ready to jump back into the game a little bit soon. I'll keep an eye on them, see if I can catch the map bans, so that we can talk about them. Oh dear, the mismatch of outfits on that show is a rough one. One suit jacket and t-shirt, one hoodie and one t-shirt. It's rough. That is a rough one. Alrighty, so we're going to be getting ready to jump into game number 3 as soon as possible. Who will take the lead in this best of 5? Again, I am Tetcher, your caster. The next map, chosen by WildHeart Esports, will be Tomb of the Spider Queen, leaving us with just Cursed, Infernal, Volskaya, and Towers remaining to finish off this series. Plenty of opportunities to get us back into this and to take us to the full 5. Right now, we're just seeing who will take the lead, as the score is 1-1. One of the evenest series we've seen so far. Great play by both these teams. Let's see what we can do. WildHeart really playing a new and different style. I've been seeing some people call it cheese, and that is wrong. Cheese is a much higher commitment strategy, where a cheese is something that if it fails, you are at a significant disadvantage. A commitment to a single strategy. This would be a cannon rush in StarCraft, a proxy barracks, where if it doesn't work, you're at a disadvantage. A Juice Pirates is a cheese. What we're looking at here for WildHeart's strategy is a more standard style of play with different heroes. That is not memes, that is a strategy. And in this case, we are seeing them running it, and it's working really well. Tank Diva, baby, let's go. Pickett just hates tanks. Let's go in. Draft is up, and we're heading into game number 3 of this best of 5. Let's get it going. Let's see what we can do. Once again, we're seeing Weary Day, by the way, instead of Funds. As we mentioned a little bit earlier, this is actually only Weary Day's 5th match now, only playing 2 before this. Fun's playing almost all the games previously. but no funds in this particular match. Uther and Medivh taken out, no surprise there. And Selux gifting 10 subs to the community. Thank you very, very much, friend. Very appreciated. We're up to 67 subs. Only 33 away from our 100 sub goal. Selux, thank you so much for the subscription gift. Harmonic Regression is a great name, by the way. Leorix taken out of action, removing that extra value that we could see from Pitkid main tanking it, who has done it before, as Tychus will be removed as well. Happy Beaver 77. Congratulations, and full on grits. Nice. Congratulations, everyone, on their subs. And again, big thank you to Selux. Thank you so much. Again, I cannot keep doing this without all of your help. So thank you so much for the generosity. Chromie and Sonya for WildHeart Esports. That could be a main tank Sonya. You were watching on the main channel, and now you have to come here. Very appreciated, full on grits. Welcome. We're getting ready. Cassia and D.Va stolen away this time. Not wanting to deal with that again. How many more we got left? That was the last one. Big thank you, Selux, for the 10 gifted subscriptions. So appreciated. As we're getting ready, Malthael will be taken out of action. CrowdControl. With Sonya on the board, currently being hovered by Zergling, but there's a good chance it could be swapped to Pitkid. You do a great job, me being able to work 100%, me being able to 100% during COVID, and led me to having some extra dollar. Well, thank you so much. Final ban for CrowdControl. Support-wise, could maybe ban an Ana if you're scared of that. They banned the Hogger, who managed to slip through the draft so far. Hogger, who also got buffed, I believe, in the recent patch. He got nerfed on one of his abilities, but a load of his other stuff got nerfed. Hey, an actual tank! Pitkid's going to be playing Diablo in this game. I'm sure Justing is very upset. Stukov going to be coming in as well, though. They now have such an insane burst composition. They have a ridiculous setup with fantastic follow-up. They could even go with the new and improved low blow if they were to choose to. Deckard going to be coming in for CrowdControl once again. Zoning and disengage. So Stairwell's last in game one were insane and really smart here. They're concerned about getting burst down. We see CrowdControl busting out the Zarya once again. In terms of Zarya games, they have actually had quite a lot of success. 83% win rate. A 5-1 win rate. Very strong. I've got an overall nerf to his baseline, but not meta talents. Gotcha. Makes sense. WildHeart Esports. Final pick for them. Second Assassin, third Bruiser, second support, Brightwing. You did get gifted a sub. Welcome. Welcome indeed, Potato Girl QQ. Brightwing and Stukov on the board, giving them a lot of potential to try and deal with that Zarya. Will we? Now I think there's a pretty good chance we will see that extra damage from the low below at level 1 from Stukov, because Stukov can go for a bit more of an aggressive build. Very interesting. The value could be there either way. Flexibility for the style here. For now, we're going to have to wait and see. Overall, draft-wise, again, the double support is very strong. It's a little more of a standard draft from the side of CrowdControl, a little bit less standard from the side of WildHeart, but but the fact they have a main tank this time is a big deal. And that double support, the hard engage into either low blow or just polymorph in general, is going to be very, very strong. Well, I appreciate that you all have jumped in here after getting those subs. It is appreciated. You have a lot of choices when it comes to your CCL casting. I appreciate you choosing Tetcher. Let's get this going. On the right-hand side, it will be CrowdControl, looking to take the lead in this series as the score is tied up. On the left-hand side, it is going to be WildHeart Esports. Let's see what they can do with this. They are still going for reactive ballista balls. We still don't get to see the low blow. I just want to see the low blow. Thank you for the predictions reminder. I'm so bad at that. I'm really bad at the predictions. You have 2 minutes, so you get a bit of a bonus. There you go. I'll feed your addiction. Let's get this going. A little bit of pressure already being applied to the middle of the map. Charge onto Loba, who is Johanna, the Iron Skin, keeping him sustained this time. Nice little time trap slowing down Rutsao. On a little bit of harass he is going for. Going with the ally shielding, the more standard talents for Zarya these days. Now the field of heat is a little bit harder to execute. Unaverted, pulled in, scroll of ceiling will land. Even without field of heat, Rutsao melting, unaverted. Not enough to finish the job. Another great time trap. Locking down Weary Day, who's playing very, very aggressively here. Not enough to overcommit. Zarya, together we are strong. As we already mentioned. That little bit of extra energy for Zarya. This will be comboed later on with a speed barrier or a give me 20, most likely speed barrier. And then level 7 will be the pinpoint accuracy, where you use your main tank to stack your energy and then sieging grenades for maximum push value. Lane's being cleared out, no kills at this early stage. XP pretty even, unaverted. Making his way down bot just for a little bit, trying to siege Dequaza a little bit, who's gone for a full metal. More standard sustain style this time. Dequaza pushed away. CrowdControl grab their bruiser camp, sending multiple members. Weary Day currently doing this alone. Will need some help, and we will see help coming in. You can see that reactive ballista pulse popping there. So it is on a little bit of a longer cooldown due to the recent nerfs. But he won't be in combat for a while, so that's not actually that big of a deal. Which is again why even through the nerfs to Stukov, we're still seeing basically the exact same build, just a little bit less strong. Rush down for the Diva. No variation on the build here. You want to be able to get through that Sonya and that Diablo here. They don't need to worry about anything like the nuclear option for sustain because they already have more than enough. The only thing... Oh, that's a good time trap pause. Very cool to see. They don't have to worry about any of that. They can just play around it a little bit easier. Speed barrier for Zarya, no surprise there. Batic armor, Dream Shot for Brightwing. So it's Brightwing who's going to be the follow-up engage, the second more damaging support with no low blow on the board. The Dream Shot to combine with Hush later on is going to give Brightwing a great little bit of harassment and some good follow-up to those engages of Diablo. Pickett trying to chase back Loba, will zone him away a little bit here. Pushes a shielding for the Decade, so this might be an Emerald build. Against double support would make a lot of sense. Armor-based time traps, giving armor to teammates and taking armor away from enemies. They pile on the pressure. Speed barrier is applied, but no speed is gained from it due to the very quick popping of the shield. Great time trap once again, applying armor, and Zerg's able to pick up the kill with it. The reduced armor onto the Diva, onto the Dynout as well. Able to capitalize on that very effectively. Rutsao now in trouble. Caught in the scroll of ceiling, the stun. Not enough there, allowing Rutsao to escape. Very nice scroll of ceiling from X-Ray to give him that escape potential. Diva going to make their way back down to bot, get the soak that way. Full slam build for Sonya so far. Gives them a little bit more freedom. Brightwing will not be going full Q build, going with a peekaboo, no surprises there. We're seeing Battle Rage for Zergling, a little bit of actual sustain in lane. And of course that camp clear going to be very useful when you want to do that solo, which you will sometimes. Trying to get X-Ray, zoning him away from his base. There's that Emerald, though. Pitkin getting chunked by that. That lack of healing. Really rough for a Diablo. Going for that cooldown reduction on stuns and a great charge-style build. They put the pressure on. Backing away. Time trap, looking for unaverted, but quick rotation in from Pitkid shuts it down. Why can't you be part of the prediction thingy? I thought I was open to everyone. Except for me, the channel manager, because I have infinite points. Now back away. Zergling backs up. Cleanse from Buds, shutting that down, so make sure that they all got out safely. Very smart. Playing it a little safer here. Just focus onto Die now. If he gets one overpower, he will go down. Good setup by Pitkid there. Hard engage. Dequaza forced to dash away. Some countries don't allow it. Oh, interesting. Fair enough. We already mentioned, as predicted, the pinpoint accuracy coming in for Zarya at level 7. A little bit of extra damage. And the slow, giving it a little bit of extra chase that way. Very smart. Pitkid making his way in, looking for the hard engage onto his X-Ray, but the speed barrier, again, Britzau really keeping his team alive, despite it being 2 kills to 0. CrowdControl getting their first turn in. They do still try to apply some pressure. Top being uncontested, but Dequaza really trying to keep the aggression going. Brightwing will come in to keep Zergling going. Buds, though, mini stun with the hit the Nitrous, trying to focus him down. Dequaza takes a lot of damage, but he can obviously trade that out. He can easily self-destruct the mech and trade everything out if he wants to. That will be bot cleaned up, and Chromie dealing with top lane. No forts taken out. A Fountain did die in bot, though. They try to get onto Pitkid. No value there. Too tanky. Level 10 hit for both teams. Micro missiles. No more bunny hops here. The Valkyrie for Cassia wants to try and grab that Chromie. Falling Sword for Lauber. Loves that combo. And Deckard, he's hovering. Is the dream alive? Or will it be only the dreams of the sleeping members of WildHeart Esports? Will it be dreams or reality? It's reality! Lord Nado coming in at level 10 for the Deckard Cade. We have it, team. We are ready. Missiles coming in for Buds. Immediately Blink heals out to Freedom. Pickett tries to get to Lauber. Zoned away. Lord Nado proceeds to get 0 value. Nailed it. Dequaza tries to zone away. Zergling comes in. Remember, still has that self-destruct. It's taking quite a lot of damage. Charge onto X-Ray. Speed barrier. Gets him out again. APOC grabs 3 members of the team. The expulsion zone. Surrounded by some damage. They focus on the Chromie. Good kill with the dive from Loba and X-Ray and Die now as they try to charge further forward. Pitkid being dropped low. Great charge from Dequaza with the rush down percentage damage. They deny the gems. And the value is gained. Lornado, more value. Nailed it. Waves being cleared up once again. Good setup. Only 3 gems needed by CrowdControl to get their second turn in to try and snowball a lead here. Top being pushed in. Big minion wave. Lots of gems available for Weary Day. So many ranged minions here. But this could be turn in number 2. Dequaza clearing this out. Buds gets poked. Die now really trying to go for the interrupt. Pitkid trying to interpose himself in between the Buds and Die now. Instead, he's just able to get a very easy engage. Die now overstepping here. Got a little bit of damage onto Buds on the way, but that was just an overextension. Quick kill coming in from Pitkid. Bot lane pushing in hard. WildHeart pushing for kills instead of going for that. The turn-in available for CrowdControl still, but they can't do it being a person down. Instead, we'll likely see WildHeart get their turn-in. They're going to be able to do that. Bot will be cleaned up. It will survive. Webweavers will help de-push that. They clean this up as best they can. Virulent reaction, once again, Stukov, standard build, though we do see a Pox Populi. No growing infestation here. Gloves of Alacrity for the Cassius, staying at range, keeping herself safe. There's the APOC, but that unstoppable competitor. Nicely done by Rutzau, being the last person to leave, playing safe. Very nicely done. Trying to tank a couple of those hits, get that extra damage output from the energy. Shield onto Loba with the speed boost. Massive shove. Takes Die out of the fight, but they're still looking to engage. Despite being down a person, expulsion zone. As we see Pickett go deep for X-Ray. Instead, we see Stukov, the first person to fall, and everyone else able to disengage. Loba makes his way top. Front walls are basically eliminated, but that is still a pretty effective fight for CrowdControl, taking the man advantage. Pickett spotted in the bush. Time trap catches two. Lornado to try and catch someone again. Finds absolutely no one. X-Ray, he's really fishing with this, but hasn't found anyone. Valkyrie just short. We have yet to see a value Lornado, but we shall keep watching. Once we hit level 20, then our memes may not be dreams. If they hit level 20. We're going to see the chain turning now for CrowdControl, as we do see 45 gems, only 24 of which are turned in by Loba. They're going to be able to push in now. Let's see if they can set this up. Bot almost certain to fall. Die now looking to siege up the time trap once again. Dragon Breath, good damage onto Loba, but he's sustaining pretty well. Nothing too much to worry about. Dayquaza split pushing, meaning it's a 4 versus 5 for WildHeart if they bring everyone up here. Looks like instead it's going to leave Sonya in mid. They again sacrifice bot lane, slowing Sands to set up for Chromie. Deletes the minion wave. Lornado proceeds to be there. Valkyrie again finds nothing. So many attempted abilities from the side of CrowdControl, but they're finding nothing. Timeout to dodge the falling sword, but Unaverted will still be taken out. The dive by Rutzau, very effective. Loba playing nicely there. They avoided the self-destruct, they avoided the falling sword, still enough to kill off Chromie. Bot lane still pushing in. They grab the fort, and now they're just going to try and rush down mid lane. CrowdControl trying to siege control, take the lead in this series. Minion wave arriving in time to stop Rutzau taking the damage. Rutsu doing a good job here. Someone told me how to pronounce it again. Is it Rutzau, Rutsu, or Rutsu? As they begin to focus down at the Bruiser camp. Martial law for the Cassia. Scroll of Stone Curse for Deckard. And get a little bit of extra damage in that way. Try to use the Lornado to set people up. Zone people with one and zone the other side with the scroll. Diverting power. Root Zhao. Gotcha. Thank you. Oh, Root Zo. Gotcha, because it's bow. Root Zo. Thank you. Dayquaza are going to be turning in. It's 12. That is another turn in for CrowdControl. Shading these together. Critterize. We don't see Hush for the Brightwing. Hey, a value Lornado, but they still just keep walking in anyway. Bought them a couple seconds. They did not finish the cap. Valkyrie pulls in Diablo. Maybe not the best target here. Expulsion Zone separates Pitkit out. They're going to try and focus him down. Zergling wrapping around from the side. Whoa! Okay, Observer. As they focus onto Pitkit to try and finish him off. Micro missiles coming in. Blink from Buds. Trying to keep him alive. Blink heals off out the wazoo. But now Buds finds himself separated. Trying to dash away. He will escape. Avoids getting himself caught out of position. But that's another kill. Diablo will revive, though. He gets his souls taken away, but he will return. With the Web Weaver still pushing in mid, looking the least healthy by far, but they have a Bruiser camp with it, so they still commit to this push. Slowing Sands. Unstoppable Kabeta allows Ritzo to push through. Lornado finds Zergling this time, but he quickly finds a way around. These are starting to get more value as the game goes on. Every single Lornado is more value than the next, as we do see bot lane being cleared out, but every lane is pressured. They play it safe. Buds clearing the minions as best as they can. Pressure reapplied. Valkyrie not finding Unaverted. We're seeing a whole lot of Hail Mary plays by CrowdControl right now. Really trying to find something, find someone. Not able to do so yet. They're going to make their way in. Boss is available. They clear out the wave. Pickett charges, looks for Loba, trying to set it up. Here comes the teleport from Brightwing to set Pickett up, keep him tanky. But that fanaticism from Loba keeps them safe. Zarya going to go with the cleansing shield, a little bit of self-sustain. Dino might need one here, focused out, but a polymorph prevents it. Great job by Buds with that wraparound as they set themselves in. Lornado splits the team, but they're able to keep engaging. That was a brilliant polymorph there by Buds to prevent the shield coming in from Rutzo. Here comes the counter focus. Fanaticism again. Johanna with hold your ground and Fanaticism backs away. Nice play by Loba. Pick Kid though, engaging very well. Bot lane still pushing. But this will be a web weave away for WildHeart. That will D-push. Big focus. Falling Sword has to be used to escape. Rutzo. Lots of pressure to be applied. Counter-engaged. Trying to siege them back. But everyone's too healthy. That double support keeping everyone topped up. Web Weaver sporting on the keep. Meaning bot keep will likely survive. Mid fort going to be completely destroyed before the Web Weaver even finishes landing. WildHeart Esports pushing their way forward. Wrath of the Berserker is being used here, trying to commit, trying to push forward. Lornado does split the team a little bit, but again, not too much value. They're a level away from level 20, where we could see more Nados for Decade here. They're trying to set this up. Loba, overpowered, charged. Does he have Iron Skin off cooldown? Yes, he does. Makes his way back through. Nekwaza has self-destruct if it's needed, but he's holding on to it. Trying to delay, trying to buy time. They think they can clear this without using it. Nekwaza tanks a few hits, polymorph immediately used. Big spear comes in, a speed barrier, letting Nekwaza be very mobile, be very hard to take down. But the siege continues. They may have to self-destruct just to zone at this point. Last Web Weaver will fall to towers. Looks like they may be committing. There's the self-destruct just to commit to make sure, but massive shove shuts it down. Great play by Weary Day as they make their way a little bit further forward, unable to get the value. Port's going to be coming out. Everyone will back away. Keep still alive. Very barely. CrowdControl holding onto it. There's those more Nados as level 20 is hit. The main reason why WildHeart backed away, to play it safe. We're seeing that armor ignoring autos from Cassia coming in. They make their way into a very big choke point. Very risky against the Decade. Boss was the one that they were trying to bait, but Boss is not being taken. CrowdControl are gonna rush it instead. They are sacrificing a keep to go for the Boss. Self-destruct not available, but they do have Expulsion Zone, and they have Lornado. But they're giving up the keep for this, and WildHeart, they could in theory keep going. They could just try and end the game here in exchange for this Boss, but they don't take the risk. The ports come out from the members of CrowdControl. They do get the Boss. They realize core is not being gone for, that they don't need to port. They can actually just keep the pressure on. You can see the members of WildHeart Esports porting back to base. They're scared of the Boss too. Diva clears out the Bruiser camp, prevents the core from going down. The game of porting chicken between these two teams as CrowdControl try and find their angle. Timeout. Falling Sword with Heaven's Fury. Huge cooldown reduction from Loba as he turns around, tries to delay the backline members while his backline is being focused down. X-Ray trying to delay, trying to buy time. Lornado getting value, disengaging this time. Lornado splitting the team in two, getting the cooldowns. They are all over the place right now. Picker goes in, level Falling Sword onto the backline, gonna hit Stockov. Huge hit onto Weary Day, but not enough. Lornado and the Boss Tornado is causing so much distraction for the team, but they can't pick up a kill. Even with all that displacement, they find nothing. The CDR and Lornados and Falling Sword with Heaven's Fury and Mornados, they still, even with all of that CC, can't find a kill. CrowdControl are forced to back up, clear out the catapults. 14 gems needed for a turn for WildHeart Esports. 34 needed, 31 now needed for CrowdControl. CrowdControl still hovering in the lead here, but only by a little bit. It's 2 keeps to 2, but bot keep is not looking too healthy. CrowdControl, they have so much fight control now. It's going to be so hard for WildHeart Esports to find a fight. You can see them. They know this. They are trying to choose where the fight happens by setting traps, but Chromie was rumbled. Chromie was spotted. Better for them to back away, buy some time, and make sure they don't get caught out. Condemn onto Zergling, but he's still tanky enough to stay safe. Iron Skin by Johanna prevents herself from getting caught out. CrowdControl, realizing the fight is not happening, they are able to clear out the Bruiser camp. Brightwing getting top lane experience, seeing most of the members of CrowdControl able to keep the pressure going there. Rest of WildHearts making their way up to Brightwing. They have enough for their turn in now, but Rutzo Setting up for a bit of a zoning. Brightman continues to push. Zergling, some good damage onto Lauber, who steps up. Pitkid is invisible, with invisible friends right now, but they're still worried about where to take this fight. Brightman can teleport in at any moment. The invisible Diablo, very aggressive. Zergling goes a little bit deep. Slowing Sands is used. There's the Apocalypse will land. Valkyrie timed out. Falling Sword. Zergling and Pitkid trying to protect the backline this time. Died out in trouble. Lornado what came out did not get too much value. Pitkid has gone very, very deep here, and X-Ray is the one who's getting stunned out. Expulsion Zone to split the team. They move forward. Pitkid is low. Self-destruct is burned to try and buy time. But it's just going to be Johanna Lauber, the only one to fall there. And WildHeart take that fight. Going back to base, they hold the delay. Turn-in finally happening for WildHeart Esports. CrowdControl in serious trouble. Buds making the most of globals, heading down to bot lane, which is really pushed up. Really wants to get some value from that web breather. Maybe at least get a fort. Rest of the team pressuring core. Right, we can teleport in at any moment. She'll have a cooldown back from that minion wave. Lornado's attempted again. Not finding the value. Lurking arm to try and split it off. Core already being pressured. Dive from Pitkid. Rutzo tanking through a support competitor, but Chromie has already broken through the shield on the core. Zergling is uncontested. Expulsion Zone to try and buy some time with Lornado. Is able to bounce Zergling away from the core. Valkyrie pulls in Buds, who's trying to keep Zergling alive. Zergling onto the core. X-Ray is taken out by Chromie. Pitkid moves on. Weary Day uncontested. Dayquaza, not enough delay, and that is game number 3 going over to WildHeart Esports. Very nicely done, just literally running at the core, able to pick up a very solid victory with the man advantage there. That is game number 3 in favor of WildHeart Esports. They are now 1 game away from moving on to the grand finals. Hey, stats for the first time. Zergling topping the damage numbers. Way more than Chromie. 100,000 damage there. Cassia, 82,000. Can't blame him. Zergling going very aggressive that game, topping literally every stat except for kills and deaths. Really playing hyper aggressive, trying to bully as many people as they could, trying to keep on the backline, even engaging sometimes more than Pitkid did. Very nicely done. That was a good setup by WildHeart Esports, capitalizing, and I liked what CrowdControl were trying to do. They tried to go for area control, but a lot of the fights, the areas were just too wide. They literally just stepped around the Lornado. All right, WildHeart, 25% of the channel points went to WildHeart, and WildHeart are victorious. There we go. Points to the WildHeart fans. Meaning that we have potentially 1 more game left, potentially 2. We'll see how this goes, as we're going to be getting ready to head into game number 3 right now. And yeah, I'm curious. I'm going to quickly not set up a prediction. I'm going to set up a channel poll quickly. New poll. All right. You got 3 minutes to decide on this poll, because I'm curious what you guys think. Was Lornado value? Was it the right choice there, or should they have gone for sleep? Yes or no? Simple as that. You got 3 minutes to vote. I will not look until we have that 3 minutes up. Until then, I hope you're all enjoying the show, as we're going to be getting ready to head into game number 4. Potentially the last game of the night. We will see. In terms of strategies, what do we have left for either of these teams? They're going to be burning through a lot of stuff. You can't really afford to save anything for Simplicity now, and Simplicity will be watching on with interest, trying to get any strategies. We'll have to see what they can do. In terms of plays, that Deckard coming in again did do well. They've lost their 100% Deckard win rate, though. Very unfortunate for them. On the side of WildHearts, the double support play. Nice to see it come in. This is one of their first times running double support that just included Uther. They have run it before. Almost all the double support games include Uther or Lili or Stukov. In this case, it did include Stukov. No Lili, though. Excuse me. We didn't see the Lili. We didn't see the... words are hard, words are hard. We didn't see the Lily, we didn't see the Uther, and we saw Brightwing Stukov in this case, and it worked pretty well, honestly. That double support kept them alive. Very good sustain there. All right, we got about half the time left on that poll. I'm not looking at the results until they are in. Funds is not playing. That's true. That might be why we're not seeing the Lily. I wonder if we have any information as to why Funds isn't playing. Let me check my Discords quickly. See if there's any information as to where Funds is. No information other than some memes. Ah, well, that is unfortunate. So, Funds is not playing. Oh, that was the same message I just read. I'm dumb. Alrighty, so we're going to be getting ready. I'm just going to quickly jump to the mainstream, see if I can catch the maps. I think I just missed them. That's annoying. That's annoying. Either way, we'll find it out in a second, I guess. I just found it out because they just showed me the wrong screen. The next map is Infernal Shrines, ladies and gentlemen. Potentially the last map of the game if WildHearts can emerge victorious. We'll see what they can do. WildHeart Esports bringing us to a match point here. CrowdControl need to even up the score to be in with a chance of staying in this CCL tournament. The winner, of course, goes on to play against Simplicity in a best of 7. That will be coming up next after this series. Currently 2-1 in favor of WildHeart Esports. No is a 100% vote on whether Lornado was value. Sad to see. Sad to see indeed. But the votes don't lie. We see WildHeart Esports again. One game away. CrowdControl going to make their revenge. Both these teams lost 3-1 to Simplicity in the earlier part of the bracket. So both are going to be looking for revenge when we set into this next stage, into that grand final. Having to win basically 4 games without losing a best of 5. Which they have already both shown they can do. However, they will have a little bit more flexibility on the maps because more will be played as Infernal Shrines. It's going to be map number 4. Potentially final map. Can WildHeart Esports close this out? First pick for CrowdControl. Can they make it happen? CrowdControl taking their time. Going to ban out the Chromie this time. Don't blame them. The damage output, insanely hard to deal with. There goes Medivh. We'll like to see Uther banned out now. There it is. CrowdControl taking that out. The ban's becoming very predictable. Need Anduin. That would be lovely. Amazing timing. Just finished work. Welcome, Saltacoon. As WildHeart Esports, the final ban. They take out the Tychus. These 4 heroes have dominated a lot of the picks recently, along with Cassia, Stukov, Diablo, and Brightwing, returning once again. Reminder, everybody, if you are enjoying this stream, our goal was to hit 100 subs before the end of the month. It is still possible. It's unlikely now, unfortunately, because we had a load of gift subs expire, but it is possible. We're at 67 subs. 33 subs needed. It is doable. As Sonya is first pick for CrowdControl. Stealing it away from WildHearts. Again, they like to run it main tank. Take it away. Remove the value. Diablo, once again. Pit Kid, when it comes down to it, plays the main tank when it is needed. Going to see the Stukov coming in. If that is the play full on Grits, that would be genius. If that's what they're doing, that would be super smart. Run those Lilies might be a little bit better against Simplicity's compositions. That might be smart as hell, if that's what they're doing. Hanzo and Johanna, classic combo. The old style combo was the Johanna-Hanzo Blaze combo, but in this case no Blaze, but the Hanzo-Johanna still works together. Condemn everyone in, Dragon Arrow them all for stuns, and if not, you can still go for that Dragon Strike and give yourself a lot of zoning potential. Remember when that was memes? Remember when everyone hated that, and now it's like one of the more popular heroics? Isn't that interesting? Funny how times change. Didn't even get changed, it was just good. People just started working out how to use it. Zarya coming in as the ban. Reacting to crowd control this time. WildHeart taking out what could be solid value for that Sonya. Sonya already hard enough to kill. For Zarya, it would be absolute nightmare. Crowd control now. Mephisto coming in. That's a very sensible ban. Both these teams really targeting each other now, taking out stuff that would be a problem. On this map, Mephisto is so much value. With Stukov already in play, it would be so hard to deal with. We can still see a very similar draft to last time from WildHeart. They can still very easily pick themselves up a second healer, and they may still, with Zul'Jin coming in here. And Zul'Jin is now very capable of being that hyper carry hero. He was always good, but now percentage damage, he loses one of those big weaknesses. He is allowed in play now. Zul'Jin ready to roll. Ana. And who? Li Ming, perhaps? Cassia. Interesting. X-Ray, one of the best Anas in the world. But with Nano Boost targets being Sonya, Hanzo, Cassia, still a cool idea. And Sleep Dart, a great, fantastic counter to Tazdingo. Can really shut down a Zul'Jin in its tracks if he's not able to sidestep that Sleep Dart. What do we see from WildHeart Esports to counteract this? Now, with Ana on the board, they've also potentially shut down the double healer attempt with anti-heal grenades. Really smart drafting. CrowdControl really trying to control this draft as WildHeart finish out with Global. Getting themselves a false stat. They control the map a little bit more now, giving themselves a second assassin in case Zul'Jin does get countered. It's very smart. They've just got macro and micro. They've got macro, a little bit of extra damage. It's just a really smart final pick. They do need to be careful. Falstad is, of course, made out of paper. And Sonya will absolutely eat him if he's not careful where he stands. Have to see if it works out. Because this could be it. This could be the final game, depending on how this goes. Let's see how we can do. Please drop a sub or a donation if you are enjoying the stream. I can only keep casting with all of your help. I am your top 4 CCL co-streamer, Tetcher. Not being paid by anyone from CCL, from Wisdom, or from Roll20. Let's get into the game. On the left, WildHeart Esports. What is that sound effect? I assume it's Diva? Probably, yeah, she's spamming emotes. On the left is WildHearts, 1 game away from going to the grand finals. On the right, looking to even up the score. CrowdControl. And a pause. One of the players having a little bit of difficulty to get into the game, so we'll be back with that as soon as possible. But again, this could be it. WildHeart Esports looking to try and close this series out here. We'll see if they can do it. We need 33 subs to hit our 100 sub goal for the end of the month. The likelihood is not very there. Let's get Roll20 to pay me. You can certainly try. I have attempted to in the past, but they don't seem too interested. They did pay me for the one-off one-shot that I did for them, but they don't seem too interested at the moment, unfortunately. Game has begun. We're back in. But if you want to message them and tell them, I will take that. I love Roll20. I will say that for free. If you want to tell Roll20 they should support and sponsor me, I'll do that in a heartbeat. CrowdControl. Already gaining a little bit of vision. Safety positioning from WildHeart Esports. Nice and good. Good Firestorm. Sleep Dart. Onto Diablo. Good condemn. Johanna doing well there. Lauber, good dodge. Able to avoid any setups there. Scatter arrow. Already gaining 5 stacks. Good job here. It's a bribe stat, a little bit of extra value that way. A Devil's Due Diablo, a little bit of extra sustain. Zergling might have already, in fact, popped his liquid cooling because he did get absolutely bullied up in top lane already. Zul'jin starting off with the Bone Slicer. Very cool to see. Now it pierces through all enemies. Great for the percentage damage builds. Restores a little bit of extra mana. And of course, the most important bit, Grievous Throw's mark is no longer removed by basic attacks. This is for the No Mercy. Zul'jin's basic attacks against heroes marked by Grievous Throw, ignore armor, and deal an additional 2% maximum health as damage. This is the combo. You kind of have to take this level 1 in order to make that level 16 work. See if they can do it. Unaverted, helping Pit Kid take the camp. Even burning through a little bit of that health to get some bonus damage from that Berserk using trait. Biotic armor. Voodoo shuffles for the Zul'jin, playing safe. Yay! Nuclear option. This time it's a smart pick. We talked about it earlier. Times when it should be picked, times when it shouldn't. In the last game, it should not have been picked. In this game, absolutely. You're against a Valkyrie. You're against a Johanna. You're against a team that's trying to push into you, that's trying to dive onto you, and is trying to, more importantly, get to Zul'jin. You have Gust, you have APOC. You have a lot of abilities that can get enemy team members into an area you want to fight in, and you want to be protecting your allies. Getting that extra little bit of area control with that self-destruct. That's what I said here, nuclear, sorry. The nuclear option. Hanzo goes down. The self-destruct's going to be coming. The self-destruct nuclear option gives them a lot of extra protection, gives them a lot of extra zoning, and more importantly, keeps D.Va alive. We've already seen her dying up in top lane, and this is the issue. If you keep feeding enemies your mech, those kills add up. Using the nuclear option here allows you to quickly pop that mech and get it back quick enough that you just get a full health reset. That's the standard we're running here. I don't remember how it's pronounced. I don't care enough. Condemn cooldown reduction for Lauber. Charge from Pit Kid. Not going to be landing. Condemn, though. Huge damage. Anti-heal grenade. The self-destruct is burned. A little bit of damage. Rutzau takes it harder than Lauber, who's able to tank through very effectively. Could have been better. Are we going to go self-destruct cooldown? Nope, we still go hit the Nitros for D.Va. That little mini stun versus the Sonya going to be very helpful here. That quick kill on Diablo, the anti-heal, and then focus down damage from Slam build Sonya. Way too hard to deal with at this stage. Zul'jin, Weary Day actually, in trouble. There's the Fed, and that's a kill. Down goes Stukov. Vicious assault for the Zul'jin. Gets the extra duration of Grievous Throw's mark. 3 seconds, and an extra damage bonus of 45. Sorry, by 45. They push in. Pulled over by Pit Kid. Sleep darted, rooted, and anti-healed. So rough to deal with. The harassment that we do see from the members of CrowdControl. Their harassment and point siege is very hard to deal with that Ana. The Ana a really clutch pick up here. But Zul'jin, only 3 stacks. But once he can get stacked up, he's going to be very hard to deal with. But he's got to get those stacks going. They try to get some counter siege. Mid 4 goes down to the minions. Unaverted will get topped up. Falstad, Boomerang, Static Shield, and Wingman. Really trying to control the objectives here. CrowdControl, they will grab themselves a siege camp mirrored by WildHeart. A little bit slower here. It's a full Firestorm build for Pit Kid, going for some sustain. Damage reduction. Have to see if he goes into the debilitating flames. Honestly, might not be a bad idea just to try and deal with that Sonya, deal with that Cassia. Falstad flies down to the rest of the team to rejoin as D.Va takes over the double soak. They make their way in. Camp is taken, a little bit of extra pressure to be applied. Bless shield, Valkyrie, Zul'jin's in trouble, hits level 10, just gets the Taz-Dingo off, anti-heal grenade expires, and we will see Unaverted barely surviving. What a play there, just getting level 10 in time. Good attempt by CrowdControl to try and set that up into a kill, but they are unsuccessful. Level 10 now available for both teams. Hanzo did not pick his level 10. He goes for Dragon Strike. Maybe if he picked Dragon Arrow, he could have picked up that kill. We do see on the other side WildHeart, Esports, Micro Missiles, Massive Shove. We already saw the Taz-Dingo, Mighty Gust, and Lightning Breath. It is a Nana boost for the Ana. No cheeky Eye of Horus. Rather than Berserker, we already saw the Valkyrie and the Blessed Shield. Wave's going to be cleaned out. Lots of pressure to be applied. Sleeping Buds. Maybe in trouble. Fend is good. Gust is burned. Iron Skin prevents Lava from being knocked away, but they do both survive. That's the important bit. Ooh, Scatter Arrow still weakening Buds. They're trading 4 for 4 here. Top 4 will go down. Blessed Shield onto D.Va, who's out of the mech. Fend finishes the job. They're even looking for Buds. Going very deep here. They're not able to find Buds. He will back away, so it's a kill for a Fort. Bot Fort will still go down. They're about to run out of minions, though, so Joe might have to actually tank this. Joe will take the aggro, but only one shot is applied before they're able to finish the job. Meantime, WildHearts, they keep pushing. Dayquaza knows this is happening. Nothing he can do about it. Camp is just stolen. To Shives, thank you very much for the raiding party of 4. Healing up. They're going to back away a bit. Here comes the focus. Pitkin, anti-heal grenade, Dragon Strike, huge damage, and Diablo will fall here. No escape capabilities at all. And CrowdControl really punishing this once again, really trying to capitalize on their aggression and the lack of mobility of Diablo. Stukov doesn't have cleanse. He doesn't have anything that will help here except extra armor. Diablo did return, but he's now a soulless Diablo, a squishy lad. Waves being cleaned out, getting some extra value here. CrowdControl, they will come up as well. Pitkin, trying to gain some souls back using that Flame Stomp build. Fire Stomp does, of course, give him stacks of souls the more people he hits. Gonna try and gain his souls back this way, keep himself a little bit of extra tankiness. Zergling on the point alone. He has self-destruct with nuclear option. Gonna be able to give him that extra defensive capability and be able to avoid a hard engage. Falstad, hiding in the bush, available. Level 13 is hit, though. Gives CrowdControl the opportunity to engage. Nuclear option with the self-destruct into the backline. Gust splits the team in 2. They try to commit for Loba. They are unable to do so. Dragon Strike completely denying it and actually drops Zergling quite low. Dayquaza taking a little bit of damage, but that is a low D.Va mech. They try to chase forward. They can't find the kill. Well, that was level 13 into level 12, and they still come out okay. Valkyrie and Nana Boost still available, but so is Taz-Dingo. You can see them trying to move in here. Rutso trying to do quite a bit of damage, trying to poke down as Dynao is trying to find the positioning to land that Valkyrie. Level 13, just short for WildHeart. 20-7 in terms of objective clear. Anti-heal grenade on both the frontliners, causing problems. Sonya is on the point, 10-20, causing a distraction. Level 13, just around the corner. Lurking Arm is good value onto Loba there. Double Sleep Star. Valkyrie catches Zul'jin. They stun him out. He still gets the Taz-Dingo, but the anti-heal might prevent him from getting any extra sustain. They body block him to keep him alive. D.Va mech is down, but everyone disengages. Good Gust. Unaverted, getting sustained up. He's going to use his own E to hold it. 23-19 right now. They turn it around. The mech of D.Va not available, but they still turn the damage onto Dynao. Zergling backs away. Weary Day is low. Pitkin is low. Lurking Arm finds the kill, though. Pitkin tries to dodge Dynao. He's going to be taken out as well. Dragon Strike does damage. We see Buds trying to chase down Rutsao. Can't find it out. Buds is in trouble. He flies point blank to get back to his team. Fountain, pop play Weary Day. It's a 4 versus 4. They still try to take the fight. 25-21, and it looks like CrowdControl may give this up. Bot still being sieged. Catapults gaining value. 31-21, and that will be the objective lost. Loba looks to engage, realize it was too late. As the objective goes over to WildHeart Esports. Remember, if they win this game, they win the series and move on to the grand finals. They set themselves up. Micro missiles. Causing a lot of extra harassment here. Falstad now has Giant Killer. A little bit of extra harassment there. Eye of Zul'jin, the extra movement speed from the Zul'jin, keeping the pressure on. Micro missiles. Valkyrie finds Falstad. Bless shield. Goodbye, Bird, as he is taken out. The Punisher still pushes into the keep. They will focus it down, and the keep will survive. Big kill by CrowdControl, buying themselves a lot of time, keeping their keep alive. They actually hold a structure lead because of this. The keep wall went down, but the catapults in bot lane have got almost equal value, creating quite a solid push there. They clear out. They keep powering through. One tower left for WildHeart Esports in this bottom lane. Next objective, spawning in bottom. Good news for CrowdControl. Potential to get themselves back in, to gain some momentum. And they're about to hit level 16. 8 kills to 2 in favor of CrowdControl. Smelling salts and now active reload. The Dragon Slayer for Hanzo. Percentage damage. Try and deal with that Diablo even quicker. Imposing presence for Johanna. Giving herself a little bit of extra sustain as well. And Giant Slayer for the Sonya. Burn through that way. Fend releases the Lightning Furies from Cassia. A little bit of extra burst when she goes in for those big, deep dives. We have Spell Power Firestorm for Diablo. I think we may actually, in fact, go for a Debilitating Flames here. That's CrowdControl. Make the most of level 16s. They take down top 4, playing aggressively. Destroy the Bruiser camp before it gets any value. Divas managed to create some pressure in bot lane, create a minion wave to push up there by clearing out the wave. There's Zul'jin. He's got the new and improved talent, what he's been building to this entire time. No mercy. Ignoring armor. 2% max health on each auto attack, and that attack speed can get real fast. Giant Slam. It's not Dragon Slayer. My apologies. I thought it was Dragon Slayer. You'd think it would be Dragon Slayer, because Hanzo. Ain't that weird? They take positioning. Trying to play a little bit more aggressively. Pushing through again, using that Zul'jin trait to get a little bit of extra damage, clear the way fast. Ooh, no Debilitating Flames for Diablo. Going for the overpower reset, keeping people stunned, keeping people moving. Very risky here. 2 additional charges of overpower, 2-second cooldown between uses. Diverting power for Diva. Super Strain, gonna be so strong against this Johanna for the Stukov. Falstad, a little bit of extra barrel roll, speed boost, keeps himself immobile, keeps himself safe. It's a risky play, but WildHeart, again, they're looking to close out this series. WildHeart, to even up the series, they will be pushing into a keep. If CrowdControl can win this objective, the keep could go down first of the game. Zergling, he has self-destruct. Nuclear option is available. Picked. Zoning away. He's almost full on souls. Zergling, diverting power. Bless shield doesn't land. Lower in trouble. They sidestep the Valkyrie. Unaverted. Healing up. They go in. Here comes the self-destruct. Nuclear option does a good split, but no one is caught by the damage. That does allow Zergling to get back into the mech, though. Big focus onto Diablo. Gust disengages. Dynao gets some good damage on the outside. Micro missiles facing the wrong way. Misplays from both sides. Dragon Strike to zone the team into objective in favor of CrowdControl right now. They hold the position. Johanna tanking through. No fanaticism, so no speed boost. Aquaza whirlwinding away. Lightning Breath is good. Good job, but Rutso can't get away. Dynao in serious trouble. They get good damage onto Zergling, and everyone barely survives. The healing from Weary Day is able to keep them going. Unaverted looks to maybe trade with Dynao, but they're still looking to make the play. They realize they could be in serious trouble if they lose this objective. CrowdControl make their way forward. Virulent reaction, and Zul'jin damage just deletes the Johanna. This has to be a disengage now from CrowdControl. They have to back up and defend. Aquaza in serious trouble, taken out. Dynao remounts and backs away. Camp is bribed. Objective will be taken. and they don't steal it. You can see CrowdControl, they were trying to steal the objective there, could not find it. And with that, WildHeart, they're going to be pushing into a keep. This fort will not be here for very long. It's an arcane Punisher. They can just dive this and take it down so fast. This Punisher will lose very little health in this push with the help of Zul'jin for your building clear. The damage output is insane. Top lane's cleaned up. Sonya still dead for 24 seconds. Let's see if they can achieve a keep here. Unaverted, only 12 stacks so far. But he's getting there. The anti-heal grenade onto Pitkid. Falstad landing. Full 5-man for them. 7 seconds until Sonya. Johanna is back. Who's going to pull the Punisher? They're probably just going to wait for Johanna. The keep, almost certain to fall. Johanna makes it, pulls it towards mid, and that the mid keep's going to help him out. Will WildHeart commit to end? They're actually pushing the core, unaverted, creating pressure. Dragon Strike splits the team. They focus the Immortal. The Punisher to be taken down. Here comes the mech with self-destruct. Nuclear option. That's a big play. Loma survives though, saved by the gust, but they're going to use it to try and focus down the core. Weary Day dropping low. Roots from the core. Diva's dropping low, but the core is going down. That is GG. And with a beautiful mighty gust from Buds, WildHeart take the 3-1 and will move on to the grand finals to play against Simplicity. Let's see the final play of that game again. The self-destruct came out, and Johanna, yeah, she was nearly dead, but you can see Dino on the side is only touching Weary Day. Everyone else, unaverted, is full health. They can't get close. The slow from the gust, setting that up beautifully. And game number 4 going over to WildHeart Esports. And that guarantees them to be going to the grand finals. WildHeart will be playing against Simplicity in the grand finals now. Wind Tunnel picked up at the end. Barely even used. They still went for the commitment. You can see the Feast on Fit. You can see the Devil's Due, whatever it's called, Feast on Fear. What is that tower called? Lord of Terror, that's it. Lord of Terror from Diablo at the end. The healing Tazdingo from Zul'jin. 100% commitment to just focusing down the core. Great push. Very nicely done. The commitment. This is why you could see CrowdControl committing so hard to grabbing the Punisher. They knew if they lost it, that core race potential that Zul'jin offers could very easily have lost them the game. And it did. It's why they committed to grabbing those last 4 gems. Those last 4 minions. But in this case, it did not work out. Very nicely done. That is going to be game number 2. That is going to be... Oh, hang on. Not supposed to see that. You ain't supposed to see that. Back to me. The next game will be happening after the commercial break, which will be coming up shortly. There'll be an interview on the main stream, which I will show you. And we will jump back into that. In fact, it looks like there is an interview happening already. So I will send you over to that. And when we come back, it will be the grand final. I will give you the halftime show as well. So see you all in a bit.
Business.
Okay.
Make sure to sub.
Any questions? Grubby?
I can see you're clearly still in the game mode. You know your job isn't done. Were you looking at grand finals already when you woke up today?
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, we had to take care of business with CrowdControl first, right? But we know it's not finished, and there's another 4 games for us to win.
Indeed. Mohammed?
Yeah, going into today, it's still just kind of questioning the crowd control. I just have really 2 quick questions. Were you expecting them to be more macro-oriented to try and counter your macro style? Or do you feel like that was a non-issue through those games? Because there were some moments where they really kind of had the map against you and you were able to turn things on its head very well.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't think we thought about too much about in terms of like play style, like whether we're winning through a team fight or macro. I think, especially after the first game, the last 3 sets, there were a lot of like macro decisions being made. Of course, we won some key team fights when it counted, but it did end up being like a pretty macro oriented set.
Okay, and my last really quick question, because I just want to know why the roster swap today. You played very, very well. Nothing against you by any means, but just curious why WildHeart was swapping some players around, or can you even say?
I think it was just more draft flexibility. That's I don't want to say too much, but
no, it's yeah. I was just curious if we could get a little insight into that. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Fair enough. All right. Well, real quick before we let you go, any final shout-outs?
Shout outs to the team and shout outs to you guys for casting this, of course, and hopefully we'll be able to finish it off.
All right. Well, thanks for the great series. Good luck in the grand finals. You are in the zone. We want to keep you in the zone, so we'll let you go. And good luck in the next match.
Thanks.